there we go. And now we're in. For some reason, that was off, and it shouldn't have been. Installed NVIDIA Broadcast recently, and it has this problem where it wants to take everything over. It's very invasive, and I cannot get it to stop. So, what I was saying was, this is stream number 105. I had to go verify the number. That was what I was yapping about all that time. And we're here on a Sunday, not only a Friday, because today is the 5th anniversary of my very first video posted on this channel. There's a few before this channel, and then a few before that channel. It goes back a while. Been doing this a long time, but this is the one that I stuck with the longest and is, I would say, the most successful iteration of me posting videos to the internet. I don't know where to go, like where to start and how to structure this. It's a weird concept, but it's been like stewing in the back of my brain, and I kind of did something similar to this a little bit when I made the Discord that I don't use for anything. I had this idea that I would do like little behind the scenes and like commentaries and stuff and just put it like in that Discord on an unlisted channel. And I did like 3 or 4 commentaries of like the first 3 or 4 videos where I just watched them and talked over them. And then I never did it again. That was like over a year ago. It's a long time ago. So, yeah, we're going to try that again. But this time with everything, we're not going to hang on the full video the whole time. Because, like, do you guys need to hear me talk about Spider-Man the movie game again? Happy to have made the BGU successful. It's an honor to have gotten you here. It is all you. You really pushed this thing forward in the last 6 months or so. But it's a celebration. So we've got our Coke Zero ready to go. But because it's a celebration, we're being classy tonight. And we're gonna drink the Coke Zero from a wine glass. Don't overflow. Don't overflow. I don't know if you're supposed to drink out of a wine glass at this full. This feels like way too full. 5 years is awesome. Glug that CZ. Oh, I will. I've earned this. I earned this because I drank a Diet Pepsi earlier today. Oh, just spilling some of the glass onto the t-shirt. It's had a good run. I'm like, I think this is like a Christmas present shirt. It's ready to go. We're ready to cycle it. Yeah. Ooh, whoops. Don't really understand how I'm going to structure this and how long it's going to go. But I've done a lot of these. I think like 70 something. I unlist and then relist all of my live streams all the time to like, because when they're unlisted, it takes my hours away towards monetization. And as I'm like, I think I'm close, I get up there and it's like, you need 1 more hour. And then it goes back like 300 hours. I'm like, cool. So this is like an impossible goal for me to do. So I just unlist them and list them all the time to check my progress. But they also mess with algorithm things. So my number of how many of these I've done is tied in with shorts and live streams. It's kind of a mess, but I think we're at 81 is the total number now of video, scripted, unscripted, not including live streams or interviews. I think are counted in that. I don't really remember. Maybe it's 82. There's a playlist of all of them, but not streams, and I don't really remember how I structured that. That was a while ago. I structured all those. Coke from a chalice is still not as good as a Pepsi. That's just not true. 81 videos in 5 years is a ton. Yeah, I did. There was a whole human born in that time. Should we jump into it? All the different ones here. There was one thing I wanted to pull up here as we're getting started into this. Let me hit this button to make sure all my sound levels are good. Are we good? We all see that? You all see that? You get a little hint at the things I'm subscribed to over here. Just a little bit, not a lot of it. You'll probably want the audio on, and I'm going to really crank that down. And we'll adjust the levels as we go, if we need to, of if the video is too loud or too quiet. This is going to be an ever-evolving stream. And he met me in that time period, big 5 years. Absolutely, I did. So this is where we're at now, and as you can see right here, this is what you're watching, and maybe probably not the platform you're watching on, because nobody goes over there. I found this earlier today by accident. This is a screenshot, and I don't know what I took this screenshot for, of just the homepage of this channel, like super early on, at 17 subscribers, and it looks like that would have been 5 videos in. It took me 5 videos at 17 subscribers, so I was doing real good at that time. And you can see based off of all of these that when I started, I had this goal that I would do these on a 2-week, like I would do a video every 2 weeks. So I was scripting, recording, editing, and then throwing something out every 2 weeks. And in the first ones, you can see the first one's like maybe like 13, 14 minutes, and then it's like 7 minutes, 5 minutes, like drop in time, because I was just trying to push something out. I did that for a full year, that 2-week schedule. 1.29k plus 1. Oh, thank you so much. It was 1.3k the other day, and then I guess people decided against that. Decision people often make around here. I'm gonna flip this to the oldest to start. So, and also you may notice from that screenshot that these titles and thumbnails are all drastically different because I have changed them over the years. And sometimes that's been good, and sometimes that hasn't done a thing. But they are all completely different from the really ugly format they had back then. This second one I did, the Aquaman one, has done well over time. And I hate that because I hate all of these early videos. I'm gonna get I've been like a little bit all day like dreading this because I know what I do now that I've been doing this for 5 years, and I know how to talk. I know what I look like and how to light things and set things up. These early ones is like, when I see them, I curl up a little bit inside. My skeleton curls up on the inside. And I've just all day I've been like, oh man, I gotta show people these. It's fine if they see it when I'm not around, but I've only been watching you for 7 consecutive streams. Thank you so much, number 1 streaker. We'll go into this one. This one I have done a lot. I've talked about a lot. If that's too loud, let me know the audio level, because it is super loud on my end, but it just always is. So I started all of these. I'm gonna do this a lot. I'm just gonna pause and just drop a bunch of backstory information in as it hits my brain, because my brain has zero structure. When I started this, the original concept, you're gonna see a title card. It's gonna say "off the panel," and that was I had a idea that everything was structured in a show, and that was the only show that I did at the beginning was Off the Panel. And then it was strictly based on comic book media. So all of these early videos are like superhero video games, movies. There's like a cartoon special in there. And then later on I started diving into other stuff, and then I quit doing them for like a year until last year, which means I should probably get back to doing those again soon. Also, this is in an entirely different space. All of these early ones are recorded in the room above me, which is now the room I sleep in. And I thought I was really artsy doing all these little music intros. I found a new song for every video, and I would do these little bits where I would open the case, and they're way too long. This is one of the things I hate about these the most, is how long they are. They go on, it feels like for hours. It still feels a little loud. I don't want to be yelling over the top of them. So there it is. That comic wipe, that page wipe I kept forever. It was an iMovie stock animation you could add to these. So I made that animation, that opening animation, in PowerPoint or Google Slides. I made it in Google Slides, and I made there's another animation that will pop up later I did in Google Slides, and all of my thumbnails. All of that was done in Google Slides, and they look really bad. It's not good, but it was the easiest way I could learn to animate as I was learning to do all this. I'm noticing my... There we go. I pulled my screen down a little bit at some point, so you were missing the bottom of that. I was yapping too much and I missed Davey here. Just got here. My chat window refuses to let me see exactly what that chat is. Something about peanut butter noodles, so I'm gonna ignore the rest of that. God, I'm like, I feel like clammy watching this. Look at this little boy right here. How there's a lot of problems here with first. Like, I was trying to do this same setup of coloring purple and blue lights, trying as hard as I can to not look at the camera. This mic talking directly into the front of a mic that you're supposed to talk into the side of. This pop filter just hanging out here. For the longest time, the Vita you can see in the very corner, there's just a Vita on the desk. I just propped that up there as if it was a prop. And I was so excited about this wall behind me that this wall in this version went to the floor. Like, it was the whole wall. And I would change these out every video. It was a lot more work than what I did when I slapped that up there and then just left it that way when I did it like 3 years ago. It hasn't changed a bit. But I was so proud of it that it was so much of the shot. You caught that. I was wondering if anybody would at the beginning. That was part of the original channel and the handle. There's a lot of stuff to that is not for public consumption. But at one point, before now, I had a different legal name. And that was the initials of my full legal name. And it was just kind of the handle that I used also with it. That is no longer my full legal name. I didn't kill anybody or rob anybody, but it is different now. So that handle dropped pretty quick. But there's a deep piece of lore. If you're here tonight, you're going to get some deep lore in all of this, of how all of this is made. I think that's all I've got for this part. But I'm gonna talk again. You'll notice that I'm talking really fast throughout these, as I am right now, because I'm nervous right now rewatching these. And I was so nervous making these that I was just speeding through the script as fast as possible. And I also was very self-conscious of my voice then, because I have a very nasally voice. So I'm also kind of putting on a voice and trying to figure out how to do. I don't think there's even a bit of comedy in this first video. I don't think I even tried to write comedy. I think this is all just my opinions and facts about Avengers. Yeah, and then that was also like a Marvel. God, that quality is garbage.
10 years ago, the Marvel Universe wasn't known outside of Hugh Jackman and...
That hangs on too long. And also, the very first copyright strike I ever received in the very first video, because I had no idea that I was playing a James Brown song there. I assumed that was just stock music in the movie. Nobody told me that. If I watched videos of myself 5 years ago, I would have flown on the spot. God Stuff is Soldier Tonight. Yeah, well, there's some people that I follow that when they talk about their old stuff, they're like, oh, those are terrible, don't watch them. I don't want to watch them in front of you, even though that's what I'm doing right now. But you can see these and see a clear arc of how I learned to light things, shoot things, write things. When I started this, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just I guess I can figure this out. And I wrote out a script, recorded it, edited it, and deleted it. It doesn't exist. That video is gone. The very first one does not exist. It was on the Batman Beyond N64 game. It was the entire first iteration of this. I didn't even save it for myself. I have no idea what happened to it. It's disappeared over the years. I thought I saved it for a while, but it does not exist. And then I made this in, I think, a matter of 2 weeks, like I do for the rest of these. And then just kind of figured it out and kept rolling from there. It just kept going. The thing is about this video, That was a running bit I did forever. The first Spider-Man game still holds up. I ran that bit into the ground in multiple videos. It's actually a joke that comes from hanging out with TJ years ago. It was a joke that I put in just for him, which is a lot of the way I wrote. Originally, it was just like the jokes we had hanging out, I would just incorporate into videos. And I used to, anytime I would see Spider-Man 1, I would go, oh, dude, that game holds up. And it drove him nuts because he didn't think it was a very good game. So I just kept running that bit all the time, and then it became a running gag across videos. I don't know if we need to watch through this whole thing, especially if we're going to watch through a lot of these, because there's not enough hours in a night to watch all of these. And I don't think even once, like if I scroll through this, I don't think I even appear until the very end. I think a lot of these early ones are like I don't cut myself in. It's just all B-roll and talking. And I'm going to be honest with you, the writing in this video is garbage, and the delivery is poor, and the whole concept. There it is. That was the second title card. I was talking over it when it started. There are two of these. For some reason, I thought that we needed the opening bit that cuts to the off the panel, and then I would talk, which is now, what, 2 full minutes into the video. And then there's a second title card to run to the rest of the video. The structure, it kills me. It kills me to see that this was the thing that I made. What awful work I was doing. And people were like, no wonder I had 17 subscribers for 5 videos in.
And published by Square Enix, the Final Fantasy Kingdom Hearts people. Avengers released in September of 2020 after being delayed from its original May 15th, 2020 release date.
It's so fast. Oh god, it kills me how fast it is.
This is the game's biggest downfall. Avengers has an amazing story with some unreasonable.
So, just to kind of speed us along out of this exact video, the whole crux of this video. What if I said I miss this Avengers game? I absolutely love Avengers, and that is the kind of the whole idea of this video was I like Avengers a lot, but I didn't really have an original opinion to this other than I really liked the Avengers game, and people were like, it doesn't have enough content, and that was like, I was like, yeah, it doesn't have enough content. Honestly, I thought that game had a fine amount of content. I got a lot of mileage out of it, but that's what people were saying at the time, and that's why my, like, trying to learn what I was doing. It was not an original idea. It was just me trying to figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and skip along through here because I don't think there is much of importance in here other than those like few things I touched on, unless you just want to hear me speed run through a script about Avengers. And then I think the ending is basically just like...
And we'll get to see more characters, both good and bad. Personally, I love my time with Avengers. But that
yeah. Ooh, God. Stop talking.
And for the multiplayer side of things, there really isn't much to keep you invested outside of the few DLC missions that have released. There's also glitches all the time. I can't count the amount of times I had to restart a harm room because I couldn't kill it. But there is a lot to love about Avengers, and I can't wait to jump in for Black Panther and other future updates. I would recommend at least playing the story portion of Avengers. That on its own is worth the average on sale $20 price of admission. Play Avengers. If not for you,
get out here.
Me, because I want more content. And don't forget, while you're waiting for those ridiculously long PlayStation 4,
I told people to subscribe and didn't have anything else.
Do that for me also. You paid attention to this video for like at least 45 seconds. I feel like that's a fair trade-off. Go play Avengers.
Well, I don't even know what the nonsense was at the end of that. It was like I stumbled through. Go play Avengers. That was also the sign off of all of them. Was like go play whatever game I was talking about. Oh, you can't hear the audio really. Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit for you. It's loud on my end, but I'm not listening through the monitor. I'm just listening through like the desktop audio. We're definitely gonna go through my favorites, but I want to jump through a bunch of these early ones because it's been like I've seen a lot of these recently because I did that like commentary. I've seen like these 3 recently because I did that commentary, but after that, I don't go back and watch these all that often, and you can see some of them are like half watched, and that may be because I needed a clip out of something, or there was just a bit that I was trying make sure that I'm not repeating somewhere. So we'll jump into the second one, and the first one to be like moderately get some views here, the CW Aquaman series. And I'm gonna tell you right at the beginning of this, God, look at how skinny I was there. First off, this is freaking me out like Blast from the Past. Also, why is this picture like sideways? Was it like that in my home for that long? This room doesn't look anything like this anymore. This looks like just like a basic apartment. I don't know why. This is the house I currently live in, but I'm pretty sure there's a TV on that wall at the moment, and it's completely flipped around. So that totally caught me off guard. This video, I hate that it did so well because, the last one had that long music intro. I'll make you sit through the whole thing. I cut, it's over a full minute, maybe 2 full minutes of just musical intro in this. It's stupid. But we'll start this one up. Also, those are two complete. This TV is this one here, just like upstairs, completely different room, and you can see in the reflection that it's a completely different room. This goes on forever. I think this song is from Wet, the 360 classic Wet, and it's just a lot of just clips of Aquaman. I don't know what was happening. This is not the things like, if I was watching YouTube at this time, I would see this and I'd be like, alright, let's skip past all of this nonsense. But for some reason I felt the need to just cut a bunch of stuff to music. And it's probably because that's like kind of what I knew. I didn't really know where I was going with it. Yeah, a shout out. The very beginning there, you caught a picture of a reoccurring character. My old dog Shelby. That is where the pig honk comes from. This was her toy, and it's just kind of it's been around. It's just kind of floated around the house since we lost her like 3 years ago. But in a lot of these early videos, she shows up a lot. Because if I needed a second character, I'd be like, the dog will be the character I need for this skit or bit. So she was around a lot. Or she'd just be sitting next to me because that dog was on top of me all the time.
Way back in 2005,
I guess there was like a little attempt at comedy in some of these.
Spin-offs before the CW. The hit WB show and one of my all-time favorite series, Smallville.
That was a weird cut.
And after the premiere of the season's highest-rated episode,
was like, I saw the joke, but the cut was like, the visual was before the delivery of the joke, which was just like a really poor cut of that joke. Yeah, so that whole thing was like a full 2 minutes into this video for some reason, and then I think, there it is. Yeah, so like 3 minutes is the intro, and then there's like 3 minutes of video. So there's a lot of like setup, and then a lot of like nothing after that.
When it came down to casting, they decided.
I hope I'm doing well. I hope this is interesting to you, as it's really just memory lane for me.
They opted out of the spinoff due to the fact that, unlike now, when the majority of the CW's programming is spinoffs, in the early 2000s,
that is the like low. What is that, like a 240p clip? That was terrible. Why is that in there? Was Joey filmed at 240p?
Started with a 13-episode season planned. But sadly, after the merger of
I also don't know why I would have put a clip of Joey in there, as if I knew like anything about Joey, so I don't know why I would have put it there.
Sadly, this was the end for the Aquaman series, and with its demise, Justin Hartley was brought into Smallville for the next season to play a different hero, Oliver Queen, who later became a major character in the series after the best Lex Luthor actor of all time, Michael Rosenbaum, left in Season 7. Many shows never make it past the pilot, and most pilots don't ever get to see the light of day. But luckily, Goff and Miller loved the pilot so much that they later got it released on iTunes in July of 2006, and it can still be purchased across.
I don't know what that little scroll was, but yeah, that was... So yeah, what was Riverdale? So I'm not a Riverdale viewer, but Mrs. BG is a Riverdale lover. She watched the whole thing front to back, and I think she's on rewatch like 2 or 3 now. She loves it. And every time she describes it to me, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. None of it makes any sense. There's like time travel, and then there's like babies that are adults, but also babies. None of it makes any sense to me. There's also witchcraft, I think, somewhere, and then like magical Dungeons and Dragons. These are the bits and pieces I've picked up as she describes it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. The more I hear about it, I think the less interested I am. But also, I feel like I can't like ignore that it exists. Like, I do have to go watch that at some point. Just because of how nonsense it is. I think, yeah, this is another one. There's a lot of nothing here until we get to this again. And this was also a bit that I did all the time, where if I had anything that kind of connected to the topic, I would set them up on this little, like, IKEA level, not even IKEA level end table. This is like a Dollar General end table. It is not sturdy at all. Baseball tee stay winning. This tee, I still have this shirt and I wear it all the time still. And it does not have a T-Birds logo on it anymore. It is just a faded off mess. And it's also covered in holes and I love it. I love this shirt. It's my favorite shirt for a long time. Also, once again, talking directly into the front of this mic, haven't quite learned that yet.
But today I'll be talking about Aquaman.
That song is from Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. It's like the level opening thing when they would, as soon as a level would start, it'd have the title card and then Spider-Man would like run across. I love Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. It's like one of my all-time SNES games. This Aquaman pilot takes me. Have you seen this? I love this pilot. I'm a big CW guy. I love all the CW superhero stuff. Everything they produced. The Smallville was big for me, and then so was everything like the Arrowverse, all of that. I watched every bit of it. And this pilot is such like a weird like hidden gem from that time. Bought it on iTunes. They weirdly released on demand. Yep. So yeah, that was in this video just a minute back. You could buy it for $2 on iTunes. I don't know if it's still there, but that is also how I watched it, I believe. Is buying it through iTunes. And it's honestly not a bad Aquaman pilot. I like Justin Hartley. I do not watch what he's doing now. I don't know anything about, was it Tracer? Whatever he's doing. But the pilot's not bad. It's a pretty decent Iron Man thing, or Aquaman thing. I believe here is one of my
after a strange man with
my go-to bits, because this video is essentially just recapping the pilot. Once again, not a lot of writing skill here or opinion. But somewhere in here there is a joke, and it's one that I've reused multiple times.
Bermuda Triangle when tourists are sent to investigate the site after a strange man with no identity is rescued from the area. The same beam of light that crashed AC's mom's plane years ago reappears and crashes Taurus's plane.
There it is. Yeah, I would do that. I thought that was funny a lot. Just cut away to like the credits scene. I've done that bit multiple times throughout videos. Anytime it looks like someone could get hurt or dying, just to cut to a credit scene. It's still a joke that I find very funny today. But that might be all I have to say on this one as well. Now,
are incredible, and I'd be lying if I said the show didn't.
There's also like, there's like a nu metal guitar in the back of this that I'm hearing faintly. I'm gonna jump the volume up real quick so you can hear it, but I don't know.
Cover topics like gun control,
what is that,
and police brutality. Superheroes are incredible, and I'd be lying if I said the show didn't hook me.
That was a wild like line for me to cut to of this. I don't want to know what what I was trying to get to there. I'll brush that aside and go to a different video. What is the backing music is so funny to me. Why is there just nu metal guitar? Because I don't do that now. Like I don't put backing music in anything. because mainly for the reason that I feel like I can never. I have a million and one audio issues, but I feel like I never have the like the audio levels right with it. iMovie Magic. Every one of these early ones is iMovie. They were recorded on a they were all edited on a Mac Mini that I have sitting here that hasn't been turned on in months.
A lot of lifelong comic book fans aren't dedicated to the Arrowverse's 5 shows a week like I am. But if you are, there's a subscribe button
there it
located
is.
below this video. You can click that for updates on when I cover those and other comic
I also
book
don't
videos.
think this is like
Go watch Aquaman.
entirely synced. Well, don't go to that. I don't know this guy. Get away from him. Hold on. Back up. Back up. Pretend like we didn't see that man. I was trying to click back to my dog again because that was another. She happened to appear in a lot of these, a lot more than I realized. Where are we? We're back here. I'm gonna detour us real quick to something a few of you might not know about, but it is. I guess this is a good way. I'll leave us here. I just didn't want to scroll through my whole YouTube page to find things. This channel exists, and I don't talk about it. It's a little secret, and that I don't share anywhere. This is what I did before. There's a few shorts I've thrown up here over time that YouTube has appeared to like kind of AI a bit. This is what I did before, and these are like Gus Johnson skits that go back to 7 years ago, and they're not great. I think this one I recently re-put as a short. And that's just a history piece that I felt like should be involved in all of this as to why the sketches have been involved in these videos is because I originally just did these little bits. And I never mentioned them, so I figured now's a good time just to bring these up, that these do exist. Nothing's been posted here in 5 years, so the day this channel was made, this stuff disappeared. It just quit. I stopped this channel and went on to that channel. I don't know why there's blue borders on this. But at some point, I keep thinking I'm going to do something with this, and I don't. So, there was something there that I had when I originally went over to that channel, and I don't remember what it is. But it's gone now. So, just know that's there. I don't know if there's much to touch on in this one. Just click on it and see what's in there. Oh God, what a ripper of a song! We gotta have the Gong Guru.
In 2016, David Ayer, director of flops as big as The Tax Collector and Bright, directed another film with.
Never seen either of those movies. I took a hostile stab at David Ayer's movies,
Another big name such as
and I hadn't seen either of them. Still haven't seen those.
The majority of DC fans.
Oh boy, this is exciting. Here, I'll get past that little title card.
Wasn't hot. But I like
So this shirt. This is the first Norma contribution to this. I had my mom make me this shirt because she does. My mom does crafts and such. She makes things, and one of the things she makes is shirts. And this is way out of her realm, but I was like, I kind of want to have the Harley Quinn, the Suicide Squad shirt for this video. So she made it for me. This video that got seen by like 12 people. I guess like 200 now, but at the time nobody was gonna watch this, and I was like, let's make a shirt for this. Let's up the production value. Also, I don't know why there's all this Suicide Squad, mostly Pops stuff here, and then just a Boss Baby Pop, which is awesome that guy's still hanging out back here, but I don't know why he was there on this.
bad movies. I'm a known lover of the Boss Baby franchise, so I thought
There it is. If I would have just let myself talk, and then it disappears.
About this movie with a minivan-sized rock of salt. After reading the entirety of the New 52 Suicide Squad, I was looking for anything else from the series to flop my eyeballs on. Now, I do know this movie has its fair share of flaws. The Resident Evil 5-esque goop monsters are a strange choice, and one of the best parts of the comic series was never knowing who was going to die next.
I can't imagine what I say in this that I would possibly not agree with now, because I still adore that movie. For the people who don't know what this game is, a Suicide Squad Special Ops, was a phone game that was, I guess I can kind of do this at times, and like when I don't need like a lot of audio, I can just cut audio there and talk. This was a phone game that it was based off the movie, and it was surprisingly good. It was like a wave-based game, and I used to play this all the time, and then it just disappeared. But I had already thought up the idea of this video, and I wanted to do it, so I went and found it. Like, I found like an APK for this game. This is the first video. Hold on, I gotta turn on a switch here. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna get real deep. Hold on a minute. Okay. Batgirl, good to see you. Yeah, we're doing something weird today. Today's the 5th anniversary of my YouTube channel, so we're going back through a bunch of old stuff I made and talking about it. First Suicide Squad does rock. I agree with it. I won't usually be here on a Sunday, but this is quite a moment. So this game I had to go through and find like an APK to make this work. And then I guess I was doing bits. I was doing a lot of bits. Oh, look at that. We get a whole visual. Look at me. I'm just yapping. We got a whole visual. Thank you so much for Happy 5 years. So this is a good visual of this whole room that I was doing all this in. This is that was a nasty futon I had that was up there. This is the same desk that I'm working with now. Same monitor that I'm watching these videos on. All of this is now different. First off, this right here, where my arm is, that is where I sleep. This is where I put my sweet little blonde head down every night to take a nap. I don't remember why. There was a reason why this blue is cut out here. Yeah, I really liked this a lot when this was the whole wall, and I mean like it spanned the entirety of that and then all the way to the bottom. Also, this room is pink now, so that's kind of confusing me. This little R2D2 display I took from a Best Buy when I worked there. I still have it. It's just like up in my attic, but it used to just display some pops on it. But yeah, every one of these were made on this Mac Mini, and a lot of these things are back here still. Thank you for signing the guest book. But this is a cool little look. This is the throwback for me of looking at this, where all of this stuff was made. This Snowball Yeti Snowball I would record these in 2 phases of I would script it out, and then I would cut out. Thank you, Mr. Hawks, for signing the guest book. I would cut out all of the sections that it would be me on screen, which clearly at this point was not a lot, and it started to be a little more, and then I quit doing this. But any part that was on screen, I would record separately of the rest of the script. So I would do a run through of all the parts I wasn't in, I think with the Yeti, because it was a higher quality, and then I would put my mouth on the front of the microphone you're supposed to talk through the side of, and do all the parts where I was on camera. And that's why there's like a very obvious dip in quality between like the on-screen ones and then the parts in between, which doesn't really matter because I was just like just making nonsense anyways. But yeah, that's a weird little blast from the past here. I think I guess I'll have to turn the sound on to figure out what that bit was because I'm curious.
So touch controls is the best you get.
It was so loud.
I would assume this mysterious VR version has some type of controller support, unless all the
there was apparently a VR version.
Attempt to connect a PS4 controller, but the only thing that registers is selecting to play the game. So you can use a PS4 controller to stand still and shoot enemies directly in front of you. On the character front, they don't give. So
a lot of these will have old Shelby in them. She was just kind of around there. The little lore on Shelby, as well as we've uncovered some of my Smallville fandom. The version of Crypto they had in Smallville was named Shelby, and we were driving home from the shelter trying to decide a name because we went and saw her and picked her out, and then we had to go home and wait like a couple days for the shelter whatever to like ready the dog. And on the way back we were debating names, and she suggested Shelby, and I entirely omitted that was the dog from Smallville, and I was like, yeah, I think Shelby's a fine name. and then did not reveal that information until we were already locked in. And that's I feel like that's the worst thing I've ever done in my marriage. Was lie, but not lie, but not say that Shelby was the dog from Smallville. But I'm still proud of it to this day. A lot of this is just gameplay. A lot of old phone games I brought up here. I had to go find footage of old stuff. I guess that's just App Store stuff. Not a whole lot else in here that I think I can pull out of this one. But what a fun one that is. Is this the next one? It's number 4? We'll have to go back. I think this is where my commentaries of the original ones stopped. So now we're in uncharted territory. Yeah, Shelby is fine. Hottest Harley Quinn cosplay ever. Yeah. I still do have that shirt. And I feel like there was one more. As we get like way down here towards these that have me on the cover. I think like I guess it's not it's one of these maybe? Did I wear it? Okay. I thought I wore it in one of those, but maybe not. I thought it made a return. It was in real rough shape. I wore it and then I think I washed it and like a letter fell off. It was an absurd request for somebody that wasn't ready to make that kind of thing yet. But it came out perfect for the video and then has never been was not in the shape to be worn again. But if I had her make one now, it would probably blow that one out of the water. It'd be fine. Let's go into this one. This is the first one I found post like starting this. I didn't know this game existed until this is probably why you can't hear it as much. None of this volume up all the way. I didn't know this game existed until I was looking for stuff to make videos for, and then found out this weird Superman Returns Game Boy game that it's basically just Sudoku. This is also the first time I have ever. I mean, the last one was we both have come a long way. There we go. The last one I had to like go find an APK. This is one of the few times I've had to use emulation. The E word. I don't like using emulation. I try to capture everything off of original hardware, but it is really hard to capture Game Boy footage. So this one, for footage capture, I had to use an emulator. I'm not proud of it, but I did do it. I don't even know what this song is. This must have been like, I just like YouTube royalty-free music. YouTube, show me song. Is this where it starts? At some point, I started doing the transition. That was held on for way too long. Where I would do these, when I was doing these little transitions, they would all end with a comic book of like whatever series I'm working with. And as the series, was that it when I wasn't looking down? Yeah. So yeah, it was that. Yeah, this is where this starts. Every one of these would have one of those like.
I was never really the biggest Superman fan before watching Smallville.
So also this Smallville shirt was another one that I wore all the time until the dog in the previous videos put a hole in the front of it. There's a lot of Smallville nonsense in here. I'm gonna turn that off because it bothers me. Where was I going? Oh, that transition. Eventually I started having more things that I would, like a bag of tricks of like every one of those intros now had this exact same ending where there would be a comic of something it was based on that would fold into the little page turn. And I think these, eventually those, is this where that thing is? At some point there's that other, there was a point where I eventually, there it is. I gave up on this thing. And then, also, you know that's a PS2 intro at the end of that.
By EA Studios before they were the company that only developed microtransactions, and was developed by EA-owned studios.
There is a bit in here. Ooh, a JonTron appearance. Yuck. We'll pop on past that. It was a different time.
I was so intrigued by this game when I first found out about it. I was expecting something more along the lines of Marvel Puzzle Quest,
apparently at this
despite
one
that
had
was
started
Bejeweled.
learning to
But
talk a
once I
little
booted it
better.
up, I was surprised to see that
I can see though that since these first ones that we watched, that some of these, like this Dark Claw moved over here, this moved around. This must have been around the time I got this, and I was really proud to have this issue. So it started like becoming a mainstay, and it's up there. Yeah, it's up there now. It's like right towards the like the focal point of that little set. Yeah, those are transitional around. I don't I don't know why. There's like this Superman stuff, and then for some reason I felt that these glasses needed to be a part of that little collection of things. I don't know why that was a part of the set design for this bit. But I like it. I like that I had that idea. That's very funny, me, from that long ago. Okay, so this is I feel like this is one of the first like memorable bits that I did. And I got to pretend to be an editor in here.
Stands for Kryptonics, which I'm told is a Sudoku-like game, but I've never actually played Sudoku to know.
So I thought it was a funny bit that Superman shows up and just plays Sudoku. It's a 15-year-old Blaster. Oh god, I have to do math now. I can't do that publicly in front of you. How old I would have been here. I'm a young little boy there. Yeah, so this bit was that I'm trying to remember how I did it. I got a Daily Planet header and just a Word document, wrote news, and then I think all the text here, because you cannot see it, and I think this is like, yeah. Also, a lot of these early ones are at 720p 60 frames for some reason. I don't know why I was shooting them in 60 frames. There's no need for that. I think I just wrote news over and over again on this document. It could have been pure gibberish, but I think it was just news over and over again. And then what I did was I edited the screen in post, obviously. I watched a YouTube video, the same YouTube video I watch every single time I need to know how to tie a tie, because I have no idea how to tie a tie. To tie this here, and then broke some lenses out of some sunglasses. And then I did a lean forward and cut it and spun the chair standing next to it and threw paper in the air at the same time to achieve that little bit. And then I think what I did here was I just stood out. This is my garage. And I just jumped into frame and cut it there. Movie magic, and put a Sudoku. I don't know how it's pronounced. Put it under my shirt. This game, surprisingly really fun. I actually really enjoyed this, and I played it a lot even after the video. I just kept playing it because I liked it. Apparently I'm a Sudoku guy. I didn't like, though, there's like multiple games in this, and those are fine, but I didn't like, there's like one where you fly, and that one sucks. This sucks. This is not fun. I didn't like that even a little bit, but I had to capture footage for it. I think that's all I'm gonna have for this one, but it's that was a fun look back on the little, I forget about going through like these little, the work I put into a little bit like the Superman thing of spinning the chair. That's where I had the most fun making these things. And I haven't done a lot of bits like that recently. You're going to start cooking on my brain of stuff like that stupid little Superman bit. But I love doing little things like that. Is there anything else in here? No, nothing else. But look, now that I'm watching me, all my things are just me. This is going to be a nightmare to have to go back and do that every time. The Spawn one, I remember having a lot of fun. If there's any specific videos that we want to talk about or go over, as we're coming up on about the hour mark. I don't know if I want to go through every single one of these, or I'll just start quick cutting through them again, just to kind of jump through a bunch. There's definitely some that I really want to get to. Of course, if we go to the populars, a few that we have to talk about. The Underground one. The Wii Fit one is important to talk about. The Wonder Woman one is important to talk about. We already hit that one. Of course, the Watch Dogs one was a big one. Daredevil was a big one for me. The Mario one. There's a lot of these that I want to jump on that are a little later, so we may breeze past a couple of these less memorable ones. I am curious that when I get past these, like, music bits. These look so like... Oh, I didn't do this, sorry. They look very like... What it reminds me of is I've been watching recently. I asked for a long time, like I kept saying I wanted to find a sitcom, and I found one. We've been watching The Goldbergs recently. Didn't know the Goldbergs had it, but the Goldbergs has got it. It's pretty funny. But the like whole bit is that he walks around with like a video camera. And a lot of these like early cuts feel like this is what like a 10-year-old kid was doing with his video camera. Like it doesn't feel like like a production that I was making to show to people. It was just me like cutting nonsense together. Like this, what is this? I opened and closed a Spawn VHS tape. Why is that part of the cut? That's so stupid. The music in that one is loud. That was super loud. Also, this forgot this was gray. At one point, that logo changed from gray to black, so you could actually see it. That's a shot of B-roll I took myself. That's a big artist print. Walking Dead that I have somewhere. I have no idea where that is. It's in my home somewhere. I accidentally skipped back. This one's a lot about indie comics in this video. Jupiter Jet is a fantastic indie comic by Jason Inman and Ashley Victoria Robinson. If you don't know them, they do a podcast that's pretty good about if you want to learn about superhero stuff. They do a thing called Geek History Lesson. That's very good. I'm just gonna plug random people that are way more popular than me while I'm doing this. So this one, I don't own a lot of Spawn things, so I guess I just put anything I had that was by McFarlane. And then I guess at this point the monitor has moved. So I'm going to say for this video, because the monitor is moved, I've probably transitioned away from the iMac. But there's that thing that like the comic transition was an iMovie stock edit. So what I would do is I would edit the whole video on this. See, we're 14 here? Yes, absolutely I was 14 here. I was 14 with a stubbly facial hair, but not a full beard. So I had the laptop here that I would edit the whole video on, and then I would cut the intro in iMovie to get that fold, and then move it over to a different computer. That was a Windows computer, so it was a nightmare to move over. I think I was uploading them to Google Drive and pulling them over, which is a thing I still do, and Ryan hates that I use Google Drive for everything. But I started doing these, like, I would put the monitor here with like something related to this. But you'll notice as we go through these, if I touch on all of them, that I did this very inconsistently. And it's so sometimes you look over and it'd just be like a GarageBand audio recording running on there, or like what OBS or whatever I was using for it. So this was something I tried to do regularly that didn't ever stick around. This is also another faded shirt. Also, none of these shirts that I've worn in any of these videos fit me at all. I am way too big for all of these. I'm just making sure that I kept a clean shot there, nothing on the floor. We got our first VeggieTales mention and Bible Man apparently in this, so I love that. That's great. And then yeah, our next the next like little drop down intro thing pops in a whole 3 minutes into the video. I feel like I was way too late on these title cards for a lot of these early ones. Google Drive is great when you send me the right link. Okay, yeah, so maybe that's part of the problem, that I'm always sending you the wrong link. But I'm trying. I always think I'm sending you the right link. I think this is the Spawn one's actually a pretty solid video that I'm gonna stand by, at least off of memory.
After finding out what he had
That
done, Al
it
tries
does.
to quit and is
It is a lot of
charged
the
on his
like,
last mission by his boss,
like
Jason
just
Lynn,
recapping
Stanley's
the
right hand, just
recapping the movie.
Al then wakes up
But I
5
did
years
go
later
into
as the
like,
Hellspawn. Lead the armies of hell inexplicably
I
with
did
the film.
a lot of
Michael Jai White
like,
spends the rest of the movie in a full head prosthetic.
yeah, going
Al
into
sends
like the
disfigurement
behind the
from
scenes
burning
and stuff.
outside of the time that he's in a
I
full
feel like
scene
this might have been the
sequence.
first
John
video I
Leguizamo's
did like
character Clown is
some
where the
quality
makeup really
writing
shines.
on. I wouldn't say quality.
Leguizamo spent 2 hours every day on set to get into a
Like actually diving into something other than just like recapping what a movie is. And I think there's good jokes in here as well. I do remember this joke that I'll stand by. Some of these things, if I decide I don't want to stand by them, I'm not going to stand by them.
Shows Jessica's top secret files on a burnable DVD labeled Special Ops, which is very similar to the way I like to hide my secrets.
Solid joke. Hung on it a little long. I'll stick with that one. That's a decent joke.
And he'll use his shape, and he'll use
there's also one here that I liked a lot.
As he'll use his massive cape, his super healing, the ability to morph his limbs into any shape.
I just keep cutting to that over and over again. Proud of that one. I'm gonna make myself laugh a lot tonight as well. Not the mom from the OC. Is she in this? I don't know anything about the OC. But if she's a part of this, that's great. Great pull. Thank you so much. It may have come up in my research in the video, but I have no idea. Let me hide these. There was another bit that I know started here.
Every subscription this video gets us one step closer to the Spawn Malbosia mouth moving cut released. My brand. Go watch it.
So that was the thing that I started trying to do around here also, is that instead of ending these with like a go subscribe and like, I would also try to whip a joke in at the end where it would just cut to something that may or may not pertain to the video. And that also kind of fell off at some point, but I enjoyed doing that as well. And I love my brand. That's also a joke that I just adore. the my brand video. Where to next? Don't go to the current new one. We don't need to see that one right now. So as you can see, this is the first one of these that we're going to that has under 100 views. So this is where I fell off. Is that frame is wild of just all those different cuts. Oh, that one wiggled. It could have been a cool cut, but it wiggled a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, this one kind of slaps. This ain't bad. I know, I understand why I put that there because it's Spider-Man, but like, I had probably just gotten that art print, like right before I was making this video. You know what? I'm gonna give it to myself. Every one of those I hate and they suck. That one wasn't bad. I'll give that one a pass. That one's okay. That was a hype intro. And also only 38 seconds. Not terrible.
About Spider-Man that hasn't already been said. Spider-Man is so popular he's appeared in countless forms of other media. Movies, games, cartoons, popsicles, even Broadway musicals.
That one I'm not proud of. That's a stolen joke straight out of Spider-Verse. Whether that was intentional or not proud of it. Oh, we've got I like looking at these a lot. These little, like, whatever I decided was going to go at the bottom of these. I think this may have been where I cut to just having Blaster Goblin at the bottom. Okay, yeah. So that whole thing is gone there. We've got a video here, or a picture here. It's a fine lineup of things on our little shelf. At some point, I understood that this camera frame is too big, and I started stacking this end table. I would put a second end table on top of it, and then put the stuff up there so I could like zoom in the shot better and get all this stuff. Probably could have just shot at a different spot or at a different set, but for some reason I felt like I needed to talk into the front of this microphone right here, where it wouldn't pick up the audio properly. Oh, what do we got in Spider-Man? Is there a lot into this one? I think the reason that all of those cuts were in that like preview window of all those intros is because in this one I mentioned that song comes from, what's the production pipeline at this point? So this is still 2 weeks. Are we rocking Canon T3i? Good. Yes, that's a good call. You're right. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back and I got props. As you can see, I'm back. So this one's 1080p. So that tells me for the first those few that were in 720p 60, those are shot on this iPhone 10. This is also the one that I've been using for Beyblade. I just been hooking it up back there. And for some reason that was shooting at 720p. The rest of these, a lot of these I started shooting on this bad boy right here, this Canon T5 Rebel. This was my... Did you say you were working in my iMovie? iMovie was in the early ones that I was doing with the iPhone 10. These I was doing... I had moved on to DaVinci by now. I've been holding it in for a minute. I got a whiz. We'll be right back to this show and tell. I'm just going to throw it into a... Okay, I'm back. No free knees. I thought this was a celebration. Oh, you want them? The knees are always free here. One of these and one of these. I did that, and then I forgot that I have just a rip right down the crotch of these shorts. So hopefully nothing came through. So what I was saying was, eventually I started shooting on this TI, which is not, or T5, which is not what I use now, because this had a problem with it, where these DSLR cameras have a problem where if you're trying to record video on them, they have like a 10-minute limit. So you'll be recording to them, and then at 10 minutes they just stop. So it became a problem of having to record on it for like 10 minutes, and then I set a timer to see when it would stop, because this doesn't have a fold-out screen, just a whole flat screen. So I wouldn't be able to see myself. I would just be guessing the frame. So the frames are a little wonky because I didn't understand how to hook this into OBS yet. And then it would go for 10 minutes. So I'd have to stop it, get up, and start it again, and then splice the two recordings together. And also, I didn't have a dummy battery, so if I didn't make sure the battery was charged, it was a nightmare. See, if you had a technical director, the 10-minute record limit would be a distant memory. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. This has just been sitting back there. I don't use it very often anymore. I bought that from Target years ago, and it was for the purpose of recording video, but I didn't know what I was doing then either. So I shouldn't have bought that for recording video. And then, of course, eventually I switched to using an iPhone. A lot of these are shot on a 10. and then that, and then at some point I went to just using my phone I have now, which is like an iPhone 13. Shot a lot of these because they have pretty good cameras. The quality comes out fairly well, and I can connect it through OBS. So that's what I'm doing this on right now, is the 13. So yeah, I would take those. Wrong one. Forgot I'm not doing a game. 13 Pro Max users rise up. 13. I don't max. Max is too big for me. I got little hands. I'm a little guy. So yeah, I would take those and I would put them into DaVinci, and then I would take these little intros. Not this intro. We might not have passed it yet. These intros I would do in... No, I'm wrong. Yeah, it was these intros. So this little wipe here was like an iMovie thing. So I had to do it through iMovie, and I would just do that whole intro in iMovie. And then after this, like, I think I would just fade this out, like lay it over the top, and fade it into the next clip. So that was the 2 PC setup for a lot of these early videos for editing them. Eventually, I found a way to... DaVinci has a lot of, like... It's a very complex editor if you dive into it. And that's great if there's a lot of things I want to do with it. So what I learned is that you can kind of, like... You can kind of code things in it. It's got kind of like a code tree to make things work. And I found a way to make a page turn transition that matched that identically. And I just made that in like a template that I could drop into any video. And that made this way easier to not have to switch between 2 computers to edit a video.
About Spider-Man that hasn't already been said.
The
Spider-Man
sound
is so
quality was
popular,
way
he's
better
appeared
by
in
now.
Countless forms of other media.
But
Movies,
I think
games, cartoons,
at this point, I was still talking directly into the front of it, though. I don't know at what point I learned to not do that, but it took way too long to do. I keep accidentally tapping the 0 and starting this over. Where was that? There it is. Yeah. So, actually, that one might have been a little sideways. I'm doing too much by tapping the arrows here. Trying to figure out where I'm going. Where was I? I've lost myself. Maybe I'm not here. Maybe I made that up that I appear anywhere in this video.
As a short bio for each character, a little tidbit from Stan Lee himself, and a way too sexy Mary Jane pose. Comic covers for major issues from Spider-Man's history that can be collected throughout each level of the game, along with comic covers for each chapter.
Big old breathe in there. I also started cutting it. I cut out all those breathes now.
For the story, you have the option to pick from the normal
I breathe
easy,
so
medium,
much.
and hard.
You can ask
Also,
Ryan,
kid
as the
mode
editor of the
simplifies
podcast,
game's controls to make it easier to play for children. When it comes to the story,
that he has to
Dr.
deal
Otto
with my
Octavius,
fat guy
better known
breathing
as
all the
Dr.
time.
Octopus, is hosting a demonstration at a science expo.
This episode is
when
yeah. This
Spider-Man
era was
attacks
awesome.
the crew and steals Otto's project, which is an issue because Peter Parker.
Did you record all the game footage yourself, or rip long plays from YouTube, or both? Through this era, a lot of it, and even now there is times where I will rip something somewhere. A lot of this era, I did myself, but there's some stuff, if I couldn't get like a good recording of it, I would pull it. And a lot of the games and stuff that I would pick is things that had like level selects. If you notice, a lot of the clips are from like the beginning of levels or like cutscenes, because it was easy for me to play through it and not record the entire game and have like a whole bunch of footage to shuffle through. I would just take notes of what I wanted footage of, and then after I finished the game, I would just like level select where I wanted to go, and then record the footage I need for that part, and then move on.
Crowd watching, but is unable
Which
to
is
escape
still
the
a
crowd,
method I
changing
use
into his
now. I'm
costume.
not often
This
doing it.
causes
If I'm playing
Spider-Man
something
to
on
be
like
branded as
a
criminal
modern
after the
Xbox,
imposter
I'll like
Spider-Man
just hit the
escapes.
like share
After the
button
real
to hold the
Spider-Man is able
recording.
to get into costume, a green fog is released onto the city streets, forcing Spider-Man to stick to the rooftops to stop a nearby bank robbery, which is a great Silent Hill type approach to early console hardware limitations of the time. Consoles like the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation weren't able to handle a realistic feeling New York street, but having a story reason for Spider-Man to not run the streets, Stan Lee with a voice makes for games I've mentioned too many. A story reason for Spider-Man to not run the streets is a much better way than some other games I've mentioned too many times.
There's a bit coming up here, is why I like cut forward and then cut back.
With a voice that always makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble. But this is just the beginning, Spidey fans. So get ready for a true superhero action thriller, packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, more supervillains than you can shake a web at, and of course, non-stop web-slinging, wall-crawling action.
You then get a comic cover, as mentioned earlier, brief tutorial, question mark approach, directional arrows, or the stick, which I find to be the easiest way to control.
Clearly a piece of footage there. As you can see, the other one I was playing and had like the PS1 controller, and then this one I just have like a PS2 controller, and I don't know if that's part of the cord to it or something else, but clearly not plugged into anything. So there's no light on it. So I just went back and just recorded myself holding a controller to like diagram this bit, which is something I do. I do that. I think I still do that now. But I may even when I do that, like turn them on just to make it. That's just like a poor, poor job on my part. I could have just booted up or like turned on the PlayStation and moved it around. Shelby really was a star. Yeah, she was in all kinds of stuff. The great dog. If I talk about her too much, I might get emotional. But she'll appear a lot more as we go throughout this. She had a role in like nearly every video for a long time.
But you can only web swing towards something you can land on, and only for 2 swings. After that, Spider-Man will fall.
That laugh is hilarious, and I wish I would have done more with that.
After completing each short level segment,
you do, Shelby.
You can create a name from the save file to make it easy to find the right one later. Like the average 24-year-old man, I chose the name Butt, and... Oh, Spider-Man. Stop. Like the kid mode, Spider-Man...
Love that joke, but I'm going to be a little upset with myself here. That I leaked an age that I was in this video. You have that shirt? Oh, I wore that for a long time until I got too big for it. I still have it somewhere. I just don't fit in it anymore. I can't believe that this was long enough ago that bit hadn't been born yet. So we have to drop the kayfabe for a minute here. Pretend like you didn't know how old that I didn't say that, and I didn't let it out in this video. Every time we quote this will be a tribute to the Queen. I do think about her every time I hear that sound clip, and I have no idea what that is from when you mention that. Still just talking right into the front of this thing. I thought I had fixed it in the last video, and now I'm back to talking into the front of it.
Naughty words to the save list. Spider-Man will swoop in and slap the word so hard it changes to something appropriate. A feature you'd never know about.
There she is again. She appears in here.
Don't explain what to do very
this
well,
is just a
but
bit
none of
about
those things are apparent in this game other than some stiff
like
web shooter controls.
Kids
You
not
can
being
pop the
understand
controller in the
it.
hand of any Fortnite, Minecraft playing kid today, and they could play it without any issues outside of the visuals. I could see some parts being...
There it is. Yeah, there's a Fortnite joke. And I just put in a PNG of a Fortnite hat on top of her and handed her a controller. So yeah, you're getting another... This is kind of the full extent of the wall. It went from there to this and then down to nearly the ground. And then this right here is a like... Oh, I guess you can't see this because my screen is in the way. Hold on. Let me grab myself here. Let me move this whole thing over. So that little thing right there, that's just like a little, what is that? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a storage. I have these like doors in my upstairs now. My bed kind of covers it now, but it is there's just like a secret, there's secret doors all over my house. It's like a place. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to be careful about I was gonna say like a mansion a kids stumble into in a movie, but I don't want to be the kids mansion place. Don't call my house the kid mansion. Don't even get anywhere near that. What is this? What is this clip?
Man, I chose the name
and oh no! Did you just clip my age to where it's out there? Oh no, it's just that. Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. Uh, I'll stand by that bit. That's a good bit. Where was I? Oh, secret door. Yeah, it's just like a storage, and they're all over this house. There's one up there that I've mentioned before. There's that one, and then there's one in the room across the stairs from it, and then there's also 2 more in both of those rooms. And then there's like, as you go to my basement, there's 2 like secret holes. They don't have doors over them, but they're holes in the ground. And there's one in my kitchen also that used to have a ironing board in it that I turned into a spice cabinet. They're just all over here. Yeah, they're all over the kid mansion. God, I hate that I said that. Why did I say kid mansion? Why is that where my brain went? I think that's good for this one. Is there anything else in here?
Outside of 20 years, along with how much they perfected.
I don't like hearing him talk. And then occasionally I threw a special thanks in these, but they're not important. We'll move past those. Where do we want to go next? What is after that? Where are we at? 10:13? We got time. I don't think there's really anything that I want to touch on too much in the Green Lantern video. This was one that a lot of people, the first time he didn't confirm his age, he just compared himself to other 24-year-old men out there. He's very advanced for okay, there we go. Yeah, thank you for correcting that. So this one was the first one that people ever like mentioned to me in public. So this first 7, it was still in my head that no one had seen any of these and no one knew a thing about this. And then this Gotham City Imposters one was the first one that anybody said like anything, which is there's also some more to this one. This one I'm gonna go into a little farther.
I have a lot of childhood gaming memories, starting with my introduction to video games on the 3-pronged.
This clip here,
that is the Nintendo
first
64.
off, I'm gonna give myself a slap on the wrist here for a clip that is not mine and not credited. It should have been credited and it's not. I don't know how to go back and do that, so it's just stuck that way.
My brother got for Christmas in 2002, but none of those memories are as cherished as much as my.
Also, this clip is like stuttering as these are going by.
The amount of Mountain Dew I consumed while pulling all-nighters playing Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 is unfathomable. But my time spent with that clunky white box gave me some of my greatest memories.
Actually, for a video I'm working on now, I pulled clips from this video. I went and ripped some footage of, because I went in and talked about the Xbox store, and you can no longer access that. So I went through and pulled some clips out of this for the thing I'm working on right now. And you can see here in the bottom that I, for some reason, left in is the Kinect footage of my whole room because I had a Kinect plugged in when I recorded this. So there I am on the couch, and there's the heat outline of Shelby next to me on the couch as I scroll through the store of Xbox. And I noticed that the other day when I was going through this. I'll just kind of let the audio play a bit on this one.
Between $5 and $20. This service is famous for bringing us games
this
like
one
Castle
I
Crashers,
apparently pulled from
Limbo,
IGN and I
Trials
just left
HD.
it. This is something I will do now, and I don't feel like this is something I need to credit really when I do these. I pull trailers a lot, and I'll use a clip of a trailer and I'll throw them in there. That's just it's an easy, quick editing tactic I have. That it's not. I don't need to credit Bethesda for doing taking a Fallout trailer or whatever. Like, it's clear it's from a trailer, so I'll just rip those and throw them in there. That one's pretty easy for me.
Incredible titles while I was at it. The XBLA was also known to host the occasional licensed game, and even some licensed superhero games. like Watchmen.
Specifically remember using that Watchmen clip.
Gotham City Imposters.
Because I was. Oh, weird! I didn't even notice that. So this one just opens with talking, and then for some reason, I felt the need to throw the stupidly long edit like this far in. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought because that threw me off. They did become a little better as I went on. Oh, the Watchmen. the intention was that I would do a Watchmen video later, and I never did. There's something else in there I caught that's gone now. We'll just skip over it. Gloss over that one. Not important.
Gotham City imposters. A multiplayer-only first-person shooter developed by Monolith Productions, who really only made Lord of the Rings games in the past 10 years, but also developed the popular 2005 MMO, Matrix Online. Released on consoles in 2012.
This may also be one of the ones I remember a lot, because this is the one that I feel like is like the first like pretty decent video I did.
These versions were shut down mid-2014. The game switched to a free-to-play model on.
Let's put up Gotham City Imposters. This is up there in my like decent work. I did okay with this one.
Batman and the Joker have gone missing.
Batman's gone. Batman's gone.
So normal civilians.
That's another big shot of the room that we don't have anymore. Let's check that out.
Batman to try to stop them, and they honor the Bat-legged Joker. An intro video that
There we
explains
go.
both
We'll get
Batman
back
and
to
the
it.
Joker have gone missing.
Batman's gone.
Yeah, so there's this next to where the comic book wall is, of course, and then this Green Arrow Stephen Amell cutout was just in the corner of the room forever. It's also in storage now, and has been gone for a long. It's just been like put away for a long time. These are the shelves that are behind me that were just kind of in the corner forever, and I don't remember. Oh, I had like 2 little black shelves that all my games were on that were just not cutting it for the amount that I had on there. This is once again just a blast in the past for me. This back here, this room is if you want to get a layout of my home, this is where the boy sleeps in here, and this is where I sleep, and we're right across the hall from each other. That's just an insight into my life if you're ever in here. The Green Arrow Easter egg, yeah, because this I had also. I had this I think in high school, and it was just like you could see. I had glass doors to my room that you could see through, and that was just like in the back corner, so you could look in and see this in the night. Like if you're walking back from the bathroom, just this in the dark is one of the most terrifying things in the world.
Batman's gone.
So that I guess we'll look at that. That outfit I have there, I made this myself, and that was part of the joke.
Joker to commit crime.
I wrote Batman on it. I didn't even put a T. I don't know if that was for legal reasons or if I just didn't feel like putting it on there. I thought it was funny. And then I just found a cardboard box cut out of Batman that I don't even think my eyes are seeing through, and then I found some pink string to tie it onto my face with, and I think it fell off like immediately after that clip.
So normal civilians.
I don't have a whole lot more on this.
To look at the gameplay itself, the initiation tutorial gives you.
Eventually, I guess this is where I started cutting myself in between it.
Small nonetheless, so small that if you try to play the game now.
If there's any notable comics that have popped up here, this one from the Suicide Squad. This is like the AMC movie theater variant. Same with the Venom movie variant. I didn't go see the Venom, but I was given the Venom variant. I think TJ gave me that. I still have never seen Venom to this day, and I don't think I'm ever gonna see Venom. This one is a notable one because it's behind me now. This Dark Knight is like one of the first comics I ever bought. There's this one, and then as we saw in the other cut, there's a picture. There's like a framed shadow box, and I might have been cutting it off with my little head. And in that is the Green Arrow comic, a New 52 Green Arrow comic. That was the first. I bought that and this Dark Knight comic the same day from our Barnes & Noble. As the first comics I ever bought for myself. And the Green Arrow one has a Stephen Amell signature on it that I took when I met him. Because I thought it was a sentimental thing of a nowhere like number 20 something New 52 issue. It's not even like there's like nothing that happens in it. But it was the first one I ever bought, so I was like, that should be the one I should get signed. And then I bought this Dark Knight with it. And then this Constantine one I got way later is another one that has like no value, but it's like one of the only Constantine issues I ever bought. And I took that when I recently met Matt Ryan, and I have that behind me. Just it's on the table over there. So it just stood out to me when I saw it.
It'll probably look like this.
Because none of those,
And the only time I've ever actually
now that none of those change out, it's just fun for me to look through and see all these. Because these I haven't seen a lot of these issues in a long time because they're just like in a long box in the closet. Ooh, we did get it.
play in June of 2020.
I played this for the first time. It was when I first was figuring out PC gaming. I played a little bit of Gotham City Imposters the day of my wedding with TJ, because my wife left. I think she stayed with her parents that night, and we got married in 2020, so it was during COVID. So, we couldn't. We had a big event planned, and we couldn't do it. So we ended up doing it in the backyard of the place we were living in, which was this is a picture from it. This is the grainiest, blurriest, terrible photo. We have this framed. It's a well done photo. This was in our backyard. There is a house my grandparents built that we no longer have. But there was this gazebo in the back, and her parents got all these flowers for us and set it up. So Gotham City Imposters is tied to that because that was one of I played it that one time, and I played it for this video. So that's the only connection I have to it, and it made a point here. But here, that's me. That's me and Mrs. BG. I got a fresh haircut. I don't look like a schlub for one of the only times ever. What an event it was. And then the other notable thing of this video that I'll go through here is that I was looking for people to play a game of this with because it was really hard to find a game because no one was playing Gotham City Imposters in 2021? 2020. This would have been, I think, 21 or 22 when I was making this. Maybe? I don't remember. It's dated, I guess. That would tell me. What is the date on this thing? 21. So October 21. There was nobody playing this. So I reached out to different, was such a fun idea. Yeah, and I wish it would have stuck around, but nobody decided that it should stick around, and I missed the boat on it. Wife supports this lore drop. Which lore drop? The Gotham City Imposters thing or the wedding day drop? I think that's the only time a wedding picture has ever been dropped into one of these. It's a funny thing. I went looking for people that could play this with me, and I was like, who do I reach out to? And this is, I had been listening to them for a while before this. This video is the first time I ever communicated with the Kind of Funny community, which is wild because of how it ends up here. So I started scrolling through Reddits and trying to find
Reddit communities like r/Steam and the Kind of Funny subreddit, where I got a response from IGN reviewer of Gotham City Imposters, Greg Miller, who, by the way.
So the first time I ever reached out to that community for anything, I was like, hey, because they used to do a thing called Squad Up where you would write in and they would and people would find people to play games with. So I was like, oh, I'll just reach out to that. And then Greg was the first person to respond, and he was like, why are you looking for this? And then that goes on to a thing about how he gave Gotham City Imposters
a 7 out of 10. But gave Angry Birds a 7.5.
So yeah, that was the thing that I was bothered at. Why do you think that Angry Birds is better than Gotham City Imposters? That later there was a call-in show or something that I asked this on, and he just shut it down entirely. So then I never got any resolution as to why he did it, but I think it's ridiculous, and that game should have got a much higher score. So let's go back. Let's keep going. Are we having fun? I'm having such a good time now. As the nerves have chilled a bit of going through this. I'm gonna skip over this one. This is one of there's a few of these that I absolutely hate. And if I wasn't into preserving these, I would get rid of this Halloween special and this Christmas special. I despise both of those videos. We are not going to touch on them for very long. I'm gonna jump in here. If you want to go watch that on your own time, watch it and do not talk to me about it. I will ignore any comment that comes my way about these. I hate these. I thought that was going to be a thing, that I was like, I'm going to do a Halloween special and a Christmas special every year. Never touching it. This one, I got into something. I was trying to be a writer of like the meaning of Christmas. I want to go and punch that kid right in the nose. Stupid idea. Terrible writing. I'd go sock my own lights out if I could time travel. I do, though. I love the opening of this video. I wanted to do like a Halloween dress up, and as you can see it there, it's spoiled because it just started playing. This is that thing I was talking about where I didn't put anything up on the screen, and there's just GarageBand recording right there. You can see my clap syncs. I was like, I'm gonna do a Halloween costume for the Halloween video, and then I didn't feel like putting on the whole costume.
I'm alone in my room at 9:15 p.m. I'm not putting the pants on.
So yeah, because I figured like because I wasn't gonna be showing the bottom half, I'd just stay there.
For some reason you be neighborhoods for chocolate and sugar shaped like cigarettes. And as you get older, for some reason you
I think this one might not be as bad as the Christmas one. And then I did little themed intros, and this is the Resident Evil 4 save room music. And then I did like, this sucks. I don't like this. This looks so like, it's like a work meeting PowerPoint look. I hate that. I know it's made in PowerPoint, but I don't like it. So we're gonna jump past this one. I've got nothing for this other than that. I hate it. We're done. We're done with the Halloween one. If I could, I'd delete that. I'd just purge it from this world. That's it. I like this game a lot. I don't know what else there is to say about it. The video wise, I guess I'll dive into it and see what's in here. That's kind of what we're doing here.
a show hit the
I was trying to get rid of that. This. What's in here?
Invincible.
Oh no, don't skip all the way through. There we go. A lot of these are becoming, man, I really liked that shirt when I'm seeing these. Ripping implied darts on YouTube, you've always been that guy. I have one bit and I'm sticking to it. This is where you can see that I have an excess of Walking Dead things. These little build sets have shown up before. I had a bunch of these little Walking Dead, like, they're like Legos, but they have like textured bits on them. And this is a Daryl vest. Is there anything in here that I care about talking about today? Or is this just a Walking Dead video? I like this game a lot. I liked talking about it. I don't think this is a bad video. I just don't think I have a whole lot of commentary on it. I don't think there's a lot of sketch in it. Hey, BG, longtime fan, first time BG live. What's my perfect night look like? Maybe it's this. Just sitting here going through old stuff I made. Is it gray jeans? Okay, it's the guy who did the Christmas video and this guy that I go back in time and punch the lights out of. Gray jeans? I hate gray jeans. Why am I wearing that? Also, I really like that this wants me to watch this video I've seen already, but it wants me to watch this Bam Margera video so bad it keeps showing up in the corner here. The nostalgia trip. Yeah, this is today's my 5-year anniversary, so that is why we're going through all these old videos from the last 5 years. Catwoman was another one that was fairly successful early on. 500 views, successful for that time. Because Aquaman didn't take off for a long. Aquaman sat at a low view for a while, and then it was like Gotham City Imposters and this were the first ones that like jumped over the like 100 view range. I always thought this video did well because I kind of gave it a bad the thumbnail was that it was just a picture of her and it said, "Is Catwoman a comedy?" Because this movie is like stupid. Everything about this movie is stupid. But I think the reason it was successful is because I had like kind of like a bad attitude going into it with just a thumbnail. And people like that on YouTube, and it's not something I do where I usually like go and I'm like, this thing sucks. So I think that's part of why it did good. But I think I at some point even wrap up with like, it's not that bad, because that's how I do everything. Dodie, how are you doing?
Woman has become a bit of a household hit in the
A lot of Catwoman history, and then there it is again. Look, I told you I was gonna do this. I'm gonna do it more than once, where I supposed to have something up on the screen, and instead it's just the garage band recording thing. And then what is this? Gray Jeans 2 videos in a row? I'm devastated by the gray jean thing.
Normally, she's a jewel and art thief, but is known to walk the line between bad and good by sometimes stopping criminals that are doing nothing worse than she's ever done, and sometimes even teaming up with Batman to fight crime. Not only will she sometimes work with the Bat fighting crime, she's also known outside of her cat persona to be the love of Bruce Wayne, Selena Kyle. And this relationship is one of the things that makes the character so interesting.
I think I'm dropping facts. They're very common. Can't get over late 2000s emo baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a very Tom DeLonge look. But I've got the hair in the front. I don't usually usually if I'm wearing a beanie, it's all slicked back, and it's very Tom DeLonge. Is there anything in here I want to touch on? I don't think so. No, I think this is all this one got I think this one has a blooper at the end of it.
Pop up on your feed
at some point I decided to just I noticed that was like that, and I just oh yeah, it was a cut of that falling over. That was so loud that it just blew my ears out. Sorry, my bad. This one I don't think there's a lot to, but I think this is the first one that my wife ever like was with. We watched the movie together. We sat and watched Spider-Man 1 because she had never seen it, and that was like the first time she was ever involved in the making of any of these. But I don't think there's anything in it of value to talk about other than that. Then she appeared in there. This one, once again, I'm gonna tell you that I hate it. I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna no sound it. This is the Christmas tree that Shelby ate all of the lights off of, but I still own. I still have it. And then I tried to do. I am opening this for one reason, because I did a transition in it where I tried to do the like thing where So this is it. This is the transition. I tried to do something that I was not at the level of doing yet. And the reason you see me put my finger in this box. So here's the idea. I had the idea that I was going to turn this over and it would cut to like a window of the first frame of the video, and it would like expand out, like zoom in. But I didn't know how to do any of that when I was doing it. So Sam XP, thank you so much for sending a sticker over on the YouTube. I appreciate it. It didn't come through this for some reason. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. Is that a network shirt? It is a network shirt. That's a nice pull there. I love the network. Yeah, this is from when they came back with the Network 2020 album, part 2, Network 2020 part 2. They had a small merch line came out, and I had to grab it. I think it's YouTube's Bits. Okay, is that what it is? I don't really exactly know. It is. You sent a happy poop and a flow state. Thank you so much for happy poop and a flow state. So what I was saying was that this is I tried to do this transition and it is awful, and that's the thing I want you to see out of this. So I was in there because I thought if I put a phone in there and just have like a green square, I can green screen it and then zoom into that. And it must not have worked because it looks terrible. What I ended up doing with it. I don't even remember. Yeah, that was rough. And then it transitions into my like intro thing, my lit up Christmas tree. And then another one of these like office party whatever PowerPoint slides. It sucks. Then yeah, I think this is all just like me in front of the Christmas tree talking. I did the whole video in front of the Christmas tree, and I think the audio is bad on it because of that. So I didn't have a good mic setup. And that's all we're gonna talk on that one because I hate it. That's one of the I've hated that since like the week after I put that video up. I didn't like it. This one we do have to touch on. Turtles in Time is an important one because I believe this is the first TJ appearance, I think. And for those of you who know, oh, I'm looking rough in this one. A little shaggy here. Yeah, this is, I think, the first appearance of TJ in a video. I think this is where he appears as the run button guy for the first time. We do have this mug here, I think. Hold on, I think I still have it back here. Yeah, I do. Just knocked over that whole set. Free knees again. When I was doing this, my mom made me, she took the logo and she made a mug with that off the panel logo on it. My retired logo I don't use anymore and haven't used for years. I've never drank out of this. It is filled with, it is just caked with dirt on the inside because it's been sitting up there for like 5 years. But this has just been like a piece of the set now from that era. It's the only piece of the set from that, I mean, other than the wall, but the wall is like every era. But that's back here. Let's put it over here for now. I'll put it back up there later because I knocked over everything when I did that. Yeah, yummy dirt. Which one of these? This one. Yeah, he looks rough. This guy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. This is one of my favorite intros I've ever done.
80s.
Love that. Love that intro. I don't think I've ever topped that intro of 80s and lasers. This is the shot of my basement, my scary murder basement. This is the arcade. It sits right here. This arcade machine sits next to me, and it's a modified arcade 1-up machine that I'm playing Mortal Kombat on here because I felt like I couldn't show that it had other stuff on it. It has Turtles in Time on it. I could have just been playing, and I think maybe later I show it, but now it sits here. And that's where the pig honk sits all the time. But it used to be in my basement.
Or the trading off the controller style.
I think it may show up here in like the little intro.
The Punisher, The Simpsons, The X-Men, The Shrek, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with their classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
That was another thing I had to do. I always had to put the title of the game I always put in before I would cut to these. I mean, I'm going to give that one too. This one, not a bad edit. I'll give it to myself here. I keep patting myself right on the back. You did a good job, Skippy. Might have went on too long, but that I'll take that cut as something good. Not terrible. And that's where it happens. Finally, this is where I updated this intro to have like the black lettering that looks so much better. I don't know why it was gray in the beginning. Somewhere there it is. Okay, so I guess I'll just play it. I was gonna set up the bit. You have the video here, so why would I need to?
Knocking the total level count down to 5 from 10, but it did include a longer version of stages and a dedicated run button for all you run button fans out there.
Woo! Yeah! Run button!
There he is. That's TJ. For those of you who've never seen him, that is TJ. That was a bit that I had the idea of it and I thought it was funny. But now I would have done this as just like, I just would have been out there and pretended to also be the run button fan. But at that time I was trying to incorporate other people into this more. So I wrote #1 run button fan in the most crude handwriting I've ever done. And then we went to a local school that had some bleachers outside, and I just had him stand on those in the snow. This would have, what is this, like, this would have been January, probably? January of, does it have a date? February of 22. So I probably would have made this in January. So we would have been just standing out in the January snow, talking about the run button. I'm going to let this play and go grab a drink because I didn't prepare with enough drink and my wine glass is empty. So I'm just going to let this one play. I won't do the whole skipping back to thing. I was unprepared. I'm sorry. It's a Sunday.
Throw that Sega Genesis in the trash because today we're talking about Turtles in Time. And if we jump right into the main game, we start off with the choice to pick from any of the 4 turtles. All the turtles play generally the same, covering slight variations of attacks like normal hits, jump attacks, and throws, with each one having moderately different traits and power attacks. Raph is quicker than any of the other turtles with a short range and has a sweeping roundhouse kick for crowd control. Mikey has the most power with medium range and a flying lunge for a power attack. Donnie's bow staff gives him the most reach along with a lunge attack like Mikey. And Leo is the most well-rounded of all, combining all the strengths of the other turtles, just slightly lesser, and has a sweeping sword attack to take down crowds, much like Raph. Each of the power attacks the turtles have can be really useful to get out of a sticky situation, but much like all good things like cigarettes and gunshots to the face, every use of one of these power attacks will decrease your life, so they should only be used in case of emergencies, but we're getting ahead of ourselves as usual. Once your turtle is selected, the game opens up with Krang stealing the entire Statue of Liberty before a broken speaking spell tells you the title of the level.
Big Apple. Yeah.
And this happens at the beginning of every level. And it can be pretty janky by
Okay.
today's standards. Sound quality is garbage and all blown out.
There was good bits in there.
Sometimes
I do
it'll
like.
start in the middle or
I did like some of those I heard while I was gone. This is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever made. I really enjoyed Turtles in Time. I did the sequels to it, was kind of a sequel to it with Shredder's Revenge. I don't know if there's much more to go into here. Let's move on. As we're rounding into the 11 p.m. time slot. Where are we at? We haven't made a lot of progress in all this time, because we've really been focusing on the old stuff, which I guess is the point. This one has always been and still is the worst performing video I've ever made, I believe, unless it has been passed up by... Okay, no. So Boys Diabolical, number 2 slot, number 1 spot has always been the X-Men anime. I don't like anime. It's not my thing. I understand it. I appreciate it. And I thought maybe I could do it for a video. I'd watch an anime, and maybe a superhero anime would make me like it. And it was not the case. But I did this whole video on the X-Men anime, and it just bombed the whole time. Here's more of my... I was, in this early days, I was testing for my mom's shirt production business. And this is another one she just threw together. This is the only one of these that was ever made. Another baseball tee. I like this shirt. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere in the house as an early production. And if I could have made some like this, I probably would have sold some that looked like this. But that never happened. But I liked these. I liked this shirt a lot, wherever it may be. And then there's the mug again.
I'm gonna sound like
I think I was sick in that, and I said something about being sick. I know what this is. Okay, I understand this bit now. We'll let this bit play because I like this joke.
Like Fran Drescher after swallowing steel wool for this and maybe the next couple of videos. After dodging it for all this time, I finally got caught by that copy of The Big Sick on DVD and Blu-ray that's been waiting outside my door for 2 years. But
that was just a shot of my front yard, but I referred to COVID as The Big Sick by Kamal Nanjiani for like multiple videos. I used that joke. But yeah, that is just like a shot of my front yard, which I guess you can't really see anything. It's kind of a sketchy idea to just record your front yard, but I guess it was okay because you can't really see it. But that was I really enjoyed that joke, and I think I used that one in multiple videos as well. That anytime I had to mention COVID, that was the way I did it. Because of course, all of these videos made post-COVID. The pre-COVID stuff was the sketch channel, and there may have been one or two that were post-COVID on that as well. But I was working on a lot of like the idea and stuff. It's okay. That is, yeah. I don't think you're gonna get much off of this of where I live. Is Is there much else to touch on in this one? I think there's a lot of just facts about the X-Men anime, and then my few X-Men things I have laying on that table. Is there... I do have a question of where this is in the intro timeline, of if I did... Okay, I still did do one of those.
So, like, X-Men.
I knew that I would get copyright claimed for the 97 theme, so I just found like a MIDI version of it, and I think that one passed without me getting in any kind of situation. That's to jump around copyright. I'm a pro at dodging copyright. You'll notice later I did some other stuff to do that. I noticed to the side as I was doing this, Shelby runs by, like she's in the corner of the screen just running past as I was recording that comic book flip. Okay, at some point this thing stopped where that like dropped down. I did quit doing that before I quit doing the other intro. That's X-Men. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on it. I wish this would quit sorting when I came back here. I got to keep scrolling back here. This one is the one and only time I have ever done a ranking video. I've never done... I guess question on behalf of myself and how hard is it to get monetized on YouTube? It is a nightmare, and it still is because I'm not fully monetized yet. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up, but I want to make sure it doesn't reveal anything when I do it. So give me just a second here. Open new link. So this here is. This is exactly the kind of stuff I wanted to happen from this. Is also questions. If there's any other questions, feel free to throw them this way. So there's a 2-tier system to the YouTube partner situation where you get partnered here, and then you have your second partnership here. This is your this is how close I am to getting full partner. Where this is like if I have ads, I can get ads at this point when this gets up here. And it keeps like this is all based off of like you have to get this full 4,000 hours within a year. So every day I lose a little bit and I gain a little bit based off of whatever amount of hours people have watched over time. It takes a very long. I just hit partner this year for the first half, which is where you get like the stickers and memberships and stuff like that come from the first tier of partner. It's it's quite a journey to get there. It is not easy. The main thing is not to worry about getting subscribers, because the subscribers are kind of there, but once you hit them, you don't really have to worry about it. Your goal should be, if you can get a lot of people to like stay and watch, get a lot of retention, that will move a lot quicker. So whatever you can do to get people to stay watching something would be is helpful. It's actually why I started streaming, is because live hours, so video hours and live hours contribute to that. Shorts are in their own separate category. Shorts have a lot of discovery and they help you get a lot of subscribers quickly because people just like click that follow tab, but there's not a lot of crossover from people who watch shorts to people who watch like long form videos. They're kind of there, like people are either watching shorts or they're watching long form content. So if you really want to get the like monetization, you either have to have like banger after banger shorts that are bringing in millions of views all the time, or you want long form videos that are holding a lot of retention. And then live streams, if you have people that like, these are like, I'm doing, I mean, these early ones are like 7 to 10 minutes, and now I'm doing much longer stuff, but like, you're only getting so much out of that 10 minutes. Like, you know, you could get, I think the 15K view Tony Hawk video has like has a little over 1,000 hours, maybe 1,500 hours. It does not have a lot of hours into it for being something that has 15K views. So you need to like really get people to watch through them to make those hours stack up. So that's it. That's what I have on that. Hopefully that explanation helped you. It is not easy to do, and every day I wake up and I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna hit those hours. As I wake up like every day, it's like, where are my hours at today? They're not where I want them to be. Because I feel like I keep getting up. Like I'm getting up real close and then it drops back down. And like at the moment I'm on kind of a time crunch of like, I gotta make this work before December. Because in December, I lose all those hours from the first video, from that Tony Hawk video that pulled in a lot. So if I don't do it before December, I'm basically starting over the game again. But that's okay. I don't do it for that. I do it for this nonsense, so you can watch me rank bat suits.
If you've been kicking around this channel for a little bit,
I pretend like this channel has had more than like 10 videos on it in the intro of this. I don't know what this hair is. This is a weird hairstyle I've never done. Ever. Oh, there was that blue patch in the wall, and apparently I just shoved, like, I think this is an issue with DC Connect. I just shoved down in that space. Is there anything in this other than, I don't know why I decided to do a ranking, but I went through and I ranked, this is pre the Batman, but I still ranked his bat suit in here because we had seen it in trailers. But I found every movie Batman and ranked them all. With this is a terrible like
color scheme they decided to go with. Number 16, Michael Keaton's bat suit.
Basic. I think that was a basic like iMovie, or maybe it's a basic DaVinci one that I used. I don't remember what I ranked any of these. It's been so long since I've seen them, but if you want to see me rank every live action bat suit, it's there. I know I went in on the Bale bat suit because I don't really care for it. At least I don't care for the, I think it's a Begin suit. There's like two of them. One of them I like, one of them I hate, and I don't remember what I landed on these. What is this one? Okay, the Batman Begins suit I like. It's the other one I didn't like. And then apparently I thought the best suit of all time was the Dawn of Justice suit. And I don't know if I have that take anymore. What a wild take to have. Oh, and then it ends with a burger. I know that's going to be a Burger King foot lettuce joke at the end, so I'm not even going to keep going there. Where should we go? Let's jump ahead. I don't think that I have much to say on Ghost Rider. This boys one, it did bad. I don't have much to say there. Guardians of the Galaxy, I liked a lot, but I don't think I have a lot on that video. This video, this is a weird one. This is it's a very important video to me. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever made. And then so is the one directly after it. So we're gonna skip over these few and go straight to this one. This is the. So this is that thing I was talking about where I said I had to. I started because I wanted to be up closer to to me for the frame and not have it so zoomed out. I started stacking two of these same. I had two of these in tables, so I just stacked them on top of each other. And this one is about iPhone games, like knockoff superhero iPhone games. So I just put a phone in a phone box up there. Oh, this is that was me talking about why it had been more than 2 weeks since I made a video. I had cut the 2 week thing. The 2 week thing only lasts like every 2 weeks for like a full year, and then I cut that back and started doing them more on the schedule I'm on now of like once a month. So I think this is my like excuse of like
I was dealing with.
Yeah, I had a bunch of house issues all at once during that, so and also was playing Evil Dead a whole bunch. But there was more that came to that, and I guess we'll dive into that aspect of this. This video is me going through a bunch of random iPhone superhero games that no one has ever heard of. And within this, there's a bit there that we'll get to after I get through describing this part, because I like that joke. Where are we? I feel like I keep doing this, like just tapping the keyboard thing to get through these, and it's not working for me to get to where I'm trying to get. It's not seeking like I wanted to seek. Is this not the video that I think it is? It is this video. Right? Maybe I'm wrong of which video this is. No, it's definitely this video. I just haven't, for some reason, haven't found the clip yet of it. I'll just have to let it play for a minute and get there. And then I guess when it pops up, that will explain. I can just kind of explain it as it shows up. Maybe it was later. I didn't do it till late. I don't know. It's in here. So within this video, I do want to get to that, but that's later. As I was writing this video, or shortly before, is when my grandfather passed away of cancer. And we were very close. But as we knew he had cancer, so before that, I did a thing where I brought like all of my recording equipment to their house, and I recorded an interview with him. And I just happened to, because I had all that footage when I was making this video, and I was like, I need a way to rate this, like to rank these games. I took the footage from that because he was like, he watched all these and talked about them. So I cut him in like reactions from that of just things he was talking about to be the reactions to all these iPhone games. And this was like, I mean, maybe a month or two after it. So there he is. That is my grandpa there. And this, there it is. Yeah. So I just cut him in here, and it was kind of this. So this video is special to me because of that reason, because he is in here, and I.
Let's refer to Off the Panel's new patent pending rating scale. My grandpa. Grandpa, how'd you feel about Super City?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of those that are cut throughout here of him like describing these. I'm pretty sure that clip is him talking about Taco Bell. So that is why this video is important to me. And I'm pretty sure at the end of this, I did like a little memoriam to him, and then that's me as a little baby. That is me, the ripe old age of 19 years old. In that picture.
Totally not me pretending I have a producer.
That's a classic bit of me pretending to have a producer. These games were all just awful, terrible games. Jesus, my headphone is jumping out of my ear.
Oh my god, I can't imagine what it looks like when this guy stubs his toe. After giving up on
love that. We'll go back to that one now, because that's what I wanted to talk about. I like that bit. My house looks nothing like this anymore either. I don't have carpeting in here. We ripped up all this carpeting, which doesn't matter to you, but it's every time I see something that's like way different, it's weird to me. What we did here is I pretended to eat these chips, and then I put I really sent this, and it did hurt. It hurt a lot. I remember recording that, and I was like, I kicked that way too hard. I just fully sent the kick to that, and then I did this shot of my face. And what I did here, this is another one my wife helped on. I did that, and then she just pulled the table away afterwards to do that stupid effect. But that's one of my favorite skits I've had to record for this, because I just absolutely kicked that as hard as I could for no reason. Another one of my favorite jokes is in this one. This is another skit that I think of a lot.
To stop a bully because mattress ad. And when we get to the bully, he run talks at us.
I like this bit of they were just like, it would freeze frame and then have their like text on them.
Broken Spider-Man robot. But he also packs heat for some reason. And our first task is to stop a bully because
So I just thought it was really funny that this guy was mid-run.
talks at us.
And so I just ran outside next to my garage at full speed and then threw this over it. I never owned a Honda Civic, so I don't know why I picked owner of a Honda Civic. But I thought it was played for a minute. Yeah, and then I just kept running and I had to like a little prance away. This is Forever is one of my favorites, not only for the grandpa reason, but also because I think I did some good jokes within that one because it was all just clowning on terrible iPhone games. I think there's a playlist of ones that are my favorites that I haven't updated in a long time that maybe I should go back and update, but I'm pretty sure that one's in there of the like ones of my favorites. You own a Honda Civic, that rocks. I just feel like that's like a classic car to make fun of. Oh, this one is a Ryan and Andy appearance in it. In the opening intro, I believe this is the first time I had talked to like I think I reached out to Andy before we were like really talking all the time and asked him if I could put a clip of his video in here because I needed something to be on the screen in the background. So there's a clip of him and Ryan in the background of this. Every day, millions of people have an idea for a TV show. Thousands of those ideas get written down, and maybe like 12 get pitched and greenlit for a pilot. Now, if you're not familiar with the TV production process... here? Yeah, it's around here. So, yeah, this is a bit about a Wonder Woman... There was a Wonder Woman TV series that I made a pilot for and never got made. It's exactly like the Aquaman one we talked about earlier. Get away with murder. Nobody's even watched that show before. The sad fact is, most pilots don't ever even make it that far. 90% of pilots aren't even seen by the public, which was the case with today's topic.
Hey man, you talking about pilots in here?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There he is. There's Ryan. So there's no I just caught the soundbite I put there. There's a lot to look over here. Where do I begin? So this back here, as you can see, the Andy Phillips channel, the Batman the movie, a movie commentary thing. It's one of my favorite shows on the internet. That is the one that Andy does. Andy and Ryan do together, where they just watch movies and talk about it. You can go find it there. Hold on, we'll just pull this. Oh, come on, don't do that. Go back to here. Boom. There we go. That got me here in the worst way possible. So Andy just today posted. I shared it on Instagram. Just came back after 2 years of not posting anything, and is I think going to be doing stuff again. But this is these two together are the people that I host the podcast, the Ding Dong podcast with. And this video from 4 years ago, which would have been like, I think new at the time I made this, is the video I put on in the background of that. And I asked him if I could put that there, I think. That's the connection that eventually led to Ding Dong. So I put that in the back. And then also, I really like that in this shot, when... Is this the button I push? Yeah, this is the like frame by frame button. So that you can hear in the background, I just threw that and it nailed the wall. And then I just threw the case up in the air and acted like it was coming at me. And I nailed, you can see where it hits the screen right there where the whole thing is like white. It just nailed the screen behind me. And I'm like, I guess lucky that it didn't break the screen. And I don't know what there's must be like something that I really thought was funny at this time to just like misspell stuff and just have like stupid wording on things. I don't know if there's a few other things in this. There's a making fun of Tucker Carlson in there. So there's the first time I did that. I don't know if I ever did that again, but I'm glad I did it then. There was a bit. I don't know. This must be like a first editing.
Hey guys, it's me from the editor's chair, which is also the host chair, and my computer chair. Remember how I said that WB was taking down clips as fast as they were?
Oh, yeah. I had an issue where this was like, I tried to put this up, and it was, when I would put up this clip from the show, WB would pull the video down. So I couldn't get the video to like go up even publicly because it would get pulled down before then. And I was talking to Max, who was on the 100th stream, and he was like, why don't you just recreate it as yourself? So what I did was I sat down in my dining room and I put a towel on my head and used this this Captain America doll to reenact the scene from the doll from Wonder Woman, where she's complaining about the Wonder Woman doll that they have there.
Clip. So here's a dramatic reenactment of the scene for you.
Now I know Amazonians are endowed with various blessings.
Yeah, so the bit is that they say that the Wonder Woman doll has too big of boobs to sell, and then she's mad about it. So I just reenacted that scene here with a Captain America, and that is credited to Max. That idea is a collaborative effort. One of your favorite videos, really. This pilot is a treasure in itself if you can get a hold of it and find it. There's Pedro Pascal appears in this, a very young Pedro Pascal. The whole thing has this property of WBTV thing on it because they didn't want anybody to get a hold of it, and it's not a bad pilot. If you can find a way to get to this, I would recommend just giving it a peek if you like Wonder Woman. It's an interesting what if. Same with the Aquaman one. I don't know what that joke is there. I don't remember that.
Followed by before she comes across these guys getting in with Diana getting reading. See what she could. There's this whole storyline thrown in during all the boring business stuff about Diana and Steve breaking up, so she could pursue being Wonder Woman. And it was about as pointless as the ending of this episode with Diana Prince making a Facebook account to show she didn't have any friends. So I just kind of left all that out because it wasn't really important until the very end. So anyways, why did this pilot never make the series? I mean, besides the obvious. The 3 Identity storyline is incredibly hard to follow. I didn't realize there were 2 different versions of Diana until well over the halfway point of the episode. And the business stuff is completely unnecessary.
I thought there was
Diana
more too.
is
There was like
irrelevant, and the show would function just fine without her. Scene completely pointless by giving her nothing of.
There was a bit there that I lost somewhere, but I don't know where it is. There's Pedro Pascal. Look how young he is. Look at that. Before he was Joel. I'm sure that bit is good, but I don't care to stick around and see what it is. I don't need that anymore. Where are we at? 11:10. I won't hold you too much longer looking at my past. This would be... So that's the full 1 year mark. Right here, the Avengers. This is my second year. I was doing Avengers. For the first 3 years, I did an Avengers video every July 5th. Or around July 5th. So this was my last one of there. And this is 4.1k views. This is the first video that had like an algorithm push for me. And I remember I posted it at a wedding in the middle of nowhere. Like I had it all edited and I was like, it'll go up on this. I think it was a Saturday. And that just happened to line up with a wedding that I like last minute was like, hey, we need a groomsman because this guy has COVID or whatever, is sick and can't come. So I had to like quickly rush to this wedding, quickly rush to be a part of this wedding. And I was like, I'll just upload it from my phone in this like middle of nowhere wedding. And then I couldn't like see anything or promote it anywhere. And I looked down and I was like, oh, I got like 100 views. That's fine. And then the next day I went to go see Top Gun Maverick. And when I got out of Top Gun Maverick, it had like 3,000 views on it. And I was like, what happened? Like in the time, it just sat at like 100 views. And in that time while I was in that theater, it just like took off. And that was where like my first like big subscriber bump came from, was this Wonder Woman pilot. So that's the information for that one. I don't think there's much in here to talk about. Oh, this this is one of the most petty jokes I've ever had. Where this guy, I think it was the Wonder Woman pilot, that this guy was saying like, you're just talking about something that's been talked about 100 times. And I told him, come back next week when I talk about something I've already talked about. And then I did this Avengers video, and I thought that was very funny.
You thought I was joking, didn't you, Derek? I'm just kidding. Derek came around. He subbed. 1 year ago.
And then, yeah, I did see him eventually. His name popped up as somebody who subbed. So I don't know why I did that. And then he probably unsubbed after because I just called this guy. That's not like an attitude I usually have. But for some reason, I thought it was so funny for him to be like, you're talking about things other people have talked about. And then just talk about a game I already talked about. I didn't need to call the poor guy out. That was mean and petty on my end. I'll take that one as maybe something I shouldn't have done. I definitely wouldn't do it now, but I don't think there's much to talk about it in this one other than that. But that's good stuff. I still can't believe I did that. It's so mean and unnecessary. This one has a bit where I pretend to be a teacher, because it's all about superhero drug PSAs. I pretended like I was pushing this TV into the space. That's the one that's back here. There's a Spider-Man cutout you can kind of see there. I did this whole bit in a costume as if I was like the teacher giving the... Oh, and then I did a VHS PSA thing there. There's not much to go on here for this one other than this is all just like old. I found a bunch of old PSAs and talked about them.
A little different from what
it's one I like. It's one I like that I think back fondly on, but I don't think there's much that's gonna work for this commentary thing in there. This I think has another TJ appearance in it, maybe. The sequel to Turtles in Time. Shredder's Revenge. Sir Dr. J.U. redeeming a free fresco. You enjoy that fresco so much. I recall doing this, that I didn't have Shredder's Revenge on Switch. I had it on Xbox. So I just pulled up, because they had YouTube on Switch then. I just pulled up YouTube and looked up a gameplay video of Shredder's Revenge and put it on there to make it look like I had it there. But it worked perfect. It was like a cool thing to have like on like as a set piece here. I think it actually did well. Trying to think of what is there to talk about here. The intros have gotten much shorter. I think we've cut out the like. By this time, we don't have the drop thing anymore. I do see that this is a trailer, and I didn't. I left this like annotation in. I didn't know at that time that you can remove those, and if I did something like this that had that, I'd crop it out. If you just click this little settings button and turn off annotations, those go away. So if that's a tip for any of you YouTube people that are trying to find B-roll clips, you can turn those off, and that will make it a lot easier if you need a trailer and you don't want a Mario face in the corner of your trailer, just to clean up your shot a little bit. It took me a long time to learn that. I don't know what this bit is about.
It seemed like every Turtles art style, or the pure nostalgia of seeing the Turtles return to 2D, it seemed like everyone in the punk frogs in their pockets couldn't wait to get their hands on
Punk Frog in your pocket. Good joke. Terrible edit, but good joke. I'll take Punk Frog in your pocket. This is a surprisingly good like rotoscope, or I think I just cut the image and like placed it there because I see a little bit of a fold there. I definitely just like cut it around this and placed it there, which I guess is a way to achieve that look. But you can see that it's curved.
I'm gonna go with .emu.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's definitely. I cut the image and put it around there. So the thing I remember about this is that Shredder's Revenge has it's like borderline the same story
Broadcast is hijacked by
to
Krang stealing potential
Turtles in
information.
Time,
Hold on a minute.
because that's how that starts. So I
I've seen
flashed
this
back
somewhere
to the original
before.
one, and that's why I refer to this as a sequel.
Once your turtle is selected, the game opens up with Krang stealing the entire Statue of Liberty.
They always return to the scene of the crime.
Who let you in here? More importantly, how long have you been standing there?
I don't know why the sound is so bad on it. So this guy here, this is Zane. This is a friend of mine that I thought he had to look for like a good detective character, and the cigar he has. I worked at a hospital for a while, and when I quit there, one of the guys I worked with gave me a bag of like a Ziploc bag of loose cigars as like a gift for finding a new job. It's the weirdest thing I've ever been given. It was just like a bag of miscellaneous cigars. I threw them all away, but I used them for this bit. So he had a cigar for this bit, because I was like, I don't know what there's like. What's in these cigars? It could be anything. So I was like, I'll just throw all of these away. Strange gift to give someone, just a Ziploc bag of loose cigars. Don't ever do that. If you're thinking of gifts for somebody, that's not a good one. But it worked. It came in handy for this one prop that I needed. So I don't remember why. I think I just thought Zane had a good look for this character, so I brought him in. And I named that character, I believe, Detective Ravioli. And I thought I'd use him again. And I don't think I ever had Zane come back. I don't think that Zane was in any other video other than this one. But he's there. He's in this one.
Special moves. They also unlock different variations of special moves like moving and jumping specials. And you can stock specials by taunting. And if you have a tendency to taunt every time before moving to the next screen like me, you'll hear Mikey say "party dude" so many times it starts to haunt you, keeping you awake at night, pushing you to the brink of sanity, till your only thoughts are party and dude.
Party dude! Party dude! Party dude! Party dude!
So I remember this bit. First off, there's a few things in this spot. I'm getting loose cigars from my friend. So this is this room that we're in right now. So originally this was the bed. We used this as the bedroom, and then up above was this room, and it's a much bigger room up there, and it was much nicer. But when we were like, oh, we have to have a child now. There's not another bedroom down here, and we didn't want to be a whole floor away from him. So I brought all this stuff down here and brought the stuff that was in here up there, and we just swapped the rooms. So that corner is that corner there. This is where my bedroom was.
Keeping you awake at night.
And it makes another appearance in a video. There's another thing here, and I don't know if it's in this shot. This is the first time I've a few times hid like an Easter egg in here, and it's got to be in here. It's one of these, I think. Yeah, so this right here, there's all of these. I just wrote "party dude" on all of these over and over again to be like, oh, I've heard it so many times, I'm going crazy. And then right here it says, did anyone notice this? And I just wrote that on there to see if anyone would catch that I wrote that on any of these. And these are all over, so it's not like anything you'd really notice unless you are paused right here and you happen to find this look at this little bit right here. Not the first time I've hid like an Easter egg in here. Terrible shot of my chin, but there's one of the few Easter eggs I've hidden in these. I think there's also another TJ appearance in here. I think there's a mention of run button somewhere in here. We love a TJ appearance. He's who you're really here to see, not me. Maybe it's in here, maybe not. I swore that I made another reference to Run Button Guy, but maybe he's not in this one. Ah, okay, so it is in here. We do have another Shelby appearance and another Zane appearance in here as well. Chin Enthusiast would say it's a great shot.
Hey man, since you're standing over there, do you want to join in?
I don't know why there's like a ringing in this clip.
Yeah, of course. Donatello sucks. Everyone knows that. An old work boot would have made a better ninja and a better turtle than him.
Couch co-op is
I did the, like, I hate that in movies when they're like, this guy's playing video games and they just do this, and then that's exactly what I did on camera there. Nobody plays, maybe I did it as the joke, but like nobody plays video games like
Couch
that.
co-op is a
And then somewhere there was TJ, I think. There was a, yeah. So that's it. Yeah, we recreated the run button clip.
in the party, not just the person who picks it up. Thanks, Big Pizza. The only thing they didn't.
I don't remember what Thanks Big
add a
Pizza was.
dedicated Run button.
Right, there was no run button in that game, and that was the bit that he's mad that there's no run button. And I think we did multiple shots of like different ways of him to tear that up, but I don't remember what it was. But there's TJ again. We love TJ's appearances, and Zane. That was my end of clip bit.
Do that before you go. Can't do your dishes in jail. Oh, and go play Shredder's Revenge.
I like turtles.
The solid ending bit. Proud of that one. Okay, where are we at? 11:24. I'm gonna start speed running some of these through the my favorites that I want to get to before it's too late to be doing this anymore. So we'll be going out of order now because we're just into like the big ones or the ones that are most important. Let's do We Fit. We Fit was my biggest video for a long time. This is where a lot of people came from.
Have you ever eaten?
This was one of the few times I did a show still, but it was still within the off the panel era, and it was still a show with a title, but I did, because it was a different show, I did it from this angle. In total, when I was doing that, where everything had to have a title, there were 3 separate like tight brands of videos. So there was off the panel that was all comic book related media, and then there was Nostalgia Vision that I think had 2 videos done with that title, maybe 1, and then One Shots, which is just like a one-off video at random that I could use as a way to do anything, which has ended up what I just like stuck doing, just doing whatever I wanted, because I felt kind of like, you know, locked creatively to be into like these 3 categories. They were very good for starting out of like, I have this one thing that I do, and I do them on a every 2-week basis. But then the 2-week thing was like hurting the quality of the video because I was trying to push them out. So I stopped that. And then it was like, oh, I want to branch out. So I started doing these other video, like show titles. And that I felt like was kind of like also holding me in and like hurting the quality of the videos. And eventually that's why everything just dropped off and I just made whatever I wanted. But this is the only one shot, and it has a one shot like logo. That's the only time it's ever been used right here. One of the few animations that I've done.
Ever actually worked.
The only time that animation was ever used was in this video. And that's also why the comic book wall is here, and it's like a straight-on shot, because it was not off the panel, so I didn't have to have the off-the-panel backing. We'll let this one play a little bit from the front.
Too much pasta and thought the best way to fix your self-esteem after is to lug this heavy white board out from under your couch and get berated with insults about your weight while leaning back and forth. Oh. Well, I did. Our story starts back in late May after giving my wife this full-length standing mirror for her birthday, which she decided to place right here next to the bedroom door. This was a fine placement for the first few days, until I turned my head to the right one night walking to bed shirtless, where I caught a glimpse of my side profile. After gawking in horror at myself for a few nights, I thought,
So that's the first time I did a shirtless bit, and that's when I started saying that, because this video did well, and then from then on I was like, oh, every time I take off my shirt, a video does well, and it has done well every time. But once again, this is that room, so that is over here where the couch is that wall, and the door is right there, and then out there is my kitchen. You can kind of see there. This one is fun because this is also one of the few that my wife helped with. I had this problem where I was trying to capture footage.
I do apologize in advance here for the quality of the Wii footage. Apparently, these guys cannot communicate very well because everything's in black and white.
Yeah, so all my footage came through in black and white, and I believe all of this is done like 2006 YouTube style, where I just shot like camera on TV. Only time I've ever done that, and it's a video that got like over 10K views because I just popped a camera in front of a TV to make it work. So none of these shots like look great, but they don't look awful, honestly. Like this looks okay. This might be where the 19-bit comes from.
Then I filled out all the information required to start the game, like my height, age, social security number, place of birth, and my first pet.
I went younger than 19 there, but it's where that style of bit came from. I'm trying to see what else is here.
4 sodas a day and not watching what or how much I eat. In short, I continue to treat my body like a next to gas pump trash can.
That is not a Casey's is local to me. I just found that on Google Images. And then I kind of did like a day-by-day process of this. There'll be a lot of Shelby in here. As we go on. Because I did a bunch of these where I would just have like a part of myself in the corner and just do like with the gameplay footage.
Every day for the first week I gained from 0.3 pounds,
which you may not see because my face is over it now.
For that I had to come back here every single night and get yelled at and shamed by this white rectangle that's never done a workout a day in its life. I dropped that was consumed. Boxing, the obstacle course.
Yeah, so there's those. Let me do this. Oh, don't grab everything. Gradient. There. Movie over here. I'm going to put you over here for this, because I know there's a lot of shots up there.
Along with rhythm boxing, the obstacle
yeah, I did a bunch of these, so there's me in my leggings.
Along with rhythm boxing, the obstacle.
My little leggings, and I for some reason put down a Pokemon blanket. And if you notice right here, this little phone here, I was watching Superman and Lois as I was doing all of this. I just remember that was one thing I remember was doing all these workouts and watching Superman and Lois on a phone as I was doing them. And she would appear. There was this game was like a big one that I remember being a part of this, where it's like it just had you do this like little step dance where you would like it'd be like put your foot here and then you go back and forth, and I use that as a bit later. So
cutting back on the amount I was eating and the mass amounts of sugar and caffeine I was consuming. It was time to start taking Wii Fit seriously.
So this Wii Fit Seriously bit, and you can see my belly hair there. This bit we recorded. This is another like right around a life event. This same day was the day that we announced that my wife was pregnant, and she was in like a dress for like I think we did like maternity photos or something, or we did there was something we did this day. So she was in like this like dress that she was wearing, and I was like, okay, I want to film this bit. And we walked around of town all day, and not all day, for like an hour or so, and recorded all these little bits. And she was in like her like dress from maternity pictures or something, while I was in this whole get up. And another my mom made shirt as I did all of this nonsense. I still love this montage. I get why this video did well. Solid bit.
From here, things started looking up. But I refused to let
That
advanced
there,
version
yeah. She was always just kind of like in the way as I was trying to do all these.
20.
And then this game. So this is, I think, her only appearance on the channel. So there was this basic step game, and I just brought her in for this bit for basic step.
Every single night. So I thought it was time to take my basic stepping skills to the next level with an all-new audience.
The bit of calling your wife while you do this is very funny. I think I just went up and mimed this bit, and then just had her sit there for a minute while I just recorded her, and then I don't even remember if I did that in the same room. She doesn't want to do that. She's very nervous of doing it. Like, she doesn't like doing any of this, so that's the only time I've ever had her do anything. I don't remember why I'm upside down here at the end. What the reasoning for that bit is, but
Can't thank all of you enough for sticking around. Or have you ever
skipped it to the beginning on accident.
And with that out of the way, I'll be back next time with some more comic book stuff. So I'll see you when I'm facing that way.
Oh, that was a bit about Wii Bowling that I did there. I think that was earlier in the video, and that's what that is. Oh, okay. We'll do a couple more, and then I'll let you go for the night. We've got to do, at some point, we have to do some Blonde era. There might be something in there. The demos video, this is one of the ones that are on the Nostalgia Vision thing. And this is one of the first ones, I think this may be the first one that was recorded in this room. It's just a different layout. There's a blue border around this, very Scott the Woz. It was not a Scott the Woz copy, and some of these have a red border, and this is something like I was talking about earlier that was I don't know what this is, go away. There was a copyright thing. Things that had that would have like video or like part of a movie in it. If you had a border on it, it would sometimes like help prevent that the copyright strike from like the YouTube's like automated copy system. So for a while, all my videos just had like a border of whatever color. For like off the panel, I did red, and the Nostalgia Vision, I did blue borders. So that is why there's like an era of videos that all have this little border around them. It was just an attempt to steal, I guess, to steal content from like WB. This is, I guess it will show this intro, like one of the few times that it ever aired. It's very long. Once again, I just love making a long intro to something. The glasses with the text is kind of early version of what the like profile picture now is for everything. This demo disc one, this has just like a lot of callbacks to it's a lot of nostalgic stuff for demos. This is this must have been shortly after I made like the original off the panel merch that you cannot find anymore. I scrubbed this from the store because I didn't like the quality of the shirt. I like the hat. I have the beanie. I still wear it occasionally, but I didn't like the hat. And I may redo these beanies with like the newer logos that I've made, or maybe a new logo. I need to do more like merch stuff. But the shirts that were on that I did not like, and I got rid of them. This is a lot of the same stuff that's over here now, but it was over there. This whole bit is fun. This is my favorite part of this video, and is why I clicked on it. This
just want across the same way you advertise games.
There we go.
chance to win $500,000. Pizza Hut got stacks.
Hey man, don't forget to talk about that wild Pizza Hut Crash Bandicoot advertising campaign where they tell you you're supposed to eat stuffed crust backwards.
What are you even going on about? Everybody knows you eat stuffed crust the same way you eat normal pizza, so you get that little bonus cheese stick at the end.
Why don't you just watch the ad for yourself? That creepy Crash Bandicoot mascot berates people with a megaphone and tells them you're supposed to eat stuffed crust backwards. That's the way you're supposed to do it. A lot of chair squeaks in that. Chair squeaks were notorious around here for a while. This chair is really squeaky. I don't know how I stopped it.
Don't you know that this stuff is filled with backwards messages? Eat pizza, stuffed crust pizza backwards. Turn the pizza around. It's stuffed crust. You eat it backwards.
Where are my keys?
This is an old car. I don't have this car anymore. And there was I don't remember if we were going to Pizza Hut anyways that night, so I just wrote it into the video, or if I wrote it and then I was like, we gotta go to Pizza Hut so I can try this backwards. But at this time, I didn't do anything unscripted for a long time. So I didn't know exactly how to react to eating it. So I was like very like nervous and smiley. I didn't know how to respond to eating it. But it does feel wrong.
Now, 99.
It does feel wrong to eat a Pizza Hut stuffed crust backwards. I think I cut that into a short at one point, but I really don't remember. So this feels like a million years ago. And then there was these outros at the end of them. So this video was the first one that had this. Where it would do this, it would cut to this blue thing, and I would have these here. And this is the ending of every video. And instead of recreating this or like saving just this, for whatever reason, I deleted this like file. So I just recorded this, like screen recorded this ending for the rest of, because I just put this at the end of every video after that. So I had every video, I had this little like that. Do you have locks in this house? And I had to cut that out to do this outro on every single video after that. So that do you have locks in this house is like seared into my brain. What other ones do I wanna bring up here? God, there's so many things I could go. I could go on with this forever because I have so many different bits, different old videos. I'll go from this side and see where do we get to. Since we had been over it. And I guess this is the first one that was in that room. So, demos came well after that. I don't know where demos is. I'm lost in the timeline of where these are at. This is the last one in that old room. And then this video was the first one in the new room. So, demos was a little ways into it. I was wrong. Marvel Snap is the first one because this is the first one after my son was born. So I made this DC Super Pets one that didn't do well. I think, right? Or no, this is... I'm trying to think. This is... I was wrong. No, that's in the old room. I don't remember anymore. Maybe it was that demo one. Oh well, not important. So these would have been around 23 because... This one right here is the last one that Shelby appears in. We won't stick on it for long because it is sad for me to look at it. But this is like a little therapy session here. And this bit originally was going to be me and Max, who was in the 100th stream. He was going to record this bit, and I was going to be the patient in the therapy. But he couldn't do it or whatever within the timeline I needed it, so I just played both characters. So yes, here it is. I did this whole video here on the couch, and she was here next to me during it. And then it would have been only a few weeks. This is like the last few weeks. I do like this video, and I like Midnight Suns a lot, but that one is harder for me to watch. And then I think I left ahead a little. Yeah, by the end of it was it got edited afterwards, so it's like within the same timeline. And I talked about a charity in here that I don't think a lot of people know of, and there's like a whole montage of her. It's gonna make me just bawl like a baby if we go much into that. But this foundation is really cool. If you've never heard of Live Like Rue, go check that out. They do donations to families who have pets that have cancer. But we'll quit being sad now. Move on to this Mario one is one of my favorites. This is kind of when I really quit having something that made any sense, like of having like any strict rules to videos. It's I think kind of one of the first ones that has this style of set to it. I went out in my garage and recorded most of this video, and this came from, I think I just like opened a manual to Mario, because I found that I had like a Mario manual, and I was like reading through it, and I was like, none of this makes any sense, and I was trying to understand like the canon of Mario, and there is no real like canon of it. So I walked out into my garage, and I nailed this I looked for a corkboard and I couldn't find one, so I just nailed this like old cardboard box to the wall in my garage, and then
They didn't have any cork boards for sale at Dollar General, so you get repurposed cardboard box that was laying in my garage. Welcome to my garage. Let's start with
so yeah, I just did this whole bit, and I had like a little table in front of me that, as I was like hitting each piece in the script, told me what thing to like put on the board. This one was a fun one to make, and there's another Easter egg in this one as well that no one has ever mentioned seeing. And this is one of my favorite videos that I don't think did like incredibly well.
At the end of the game, once Luigi is saved, we get
The audio's terrible in it. I don't know exactly where it is, and I have to just okay. So, here as I'm talking, there's like you can see the window the whole time, and at some point, like right around here, there it is. I just put a faint image of Drew Carey in the window for no reason at all. It's just in this one shot here. Gradient. Let me move these so you can see the whole thing. We'll go back over where we belong over here. Yeah, I just put this faint picture of Drew Carey in the background. Once again, no one ever said they saw that. it's just there, the ghost of Drew Carey, because we all know he passed away, sadly, years ago. So I just immortalized him here in this window, and it's only like for a short second there, and then it's gone. And that's one of the other Easter eggs. If there's definitely more Easter eggs that I don't remember that I've hidden in these, but those two are ones I've never like came out and talked about that they're in the video. I've never said those publicly, and now they're out there. The Drew Carey and the Did Anyone Notice This Paper one are the only ones I really remember. This one I can pop into for a second. This is the first thing I ever did with Jerica. I reached out to her well before we did this, and then we just kept trying to schedule this for months and couldn't get anything locked in. And then we recorded what is essentially a podcast about movie tie-ins. And I feel like Dido recently did this. So there's a really old. This is pre-Dido. Dido didn't exist yet when we did this. There's a lot of editing and like goofy B-roll, and then there's this bit also where the whole thing was every time we ranked something or said something, we had like a fake producer joke. Then we came up on the spot, and I had to go find a. The plan, I think, was that I would find like a rollout, like a big whiteboard, and I couldn't find one like easy. So I went to the dollar store or something, and the only thing I could find was this like tiny little whiteboard.
Oh, did you ever watch? It was garbage, but like the
Put into
So
hold on. Get back to it eventually. You want to switch off? No.
very rude.
I'll bookmark it somewhere.
By me. Hey, you remember that?
Somewhere in here, there's the bit where that guy pops up again, and he puts it's like it should be right at the end of these, but I'm very inconsistent with all of my like continuity and editing, so somewhere in there that guy pops up. We'll leave that one there. This one is fun. This is where kind of my audio issues started stemming. In this video from here for like a year. I think they're all settled now and fixed. The new one sounds great whenever you finally see it. So this one was recorded in multiple places. It was here. This is before I started doing the standing thing, but I was doing lights on for video, so it's a weird look. I don't really care for that. This in the woods shot for talking about Bigfoot here.
Year-old myth to bed.
If you don't know this video, I like went and searched all this stuff for the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Bigfoot myth because it says it's possible on a fandom wiki, and that's not true. So part of it, I went and stood out in the woods. This is the house that I talked about earlier that my wedding was at. Before that house was sold, this is shortly before that house was sold. I went out. There's a lot of wooded area around it. It's out in the middle of nowhere. So I just I went out there, and they were fixing up something to sell to get it ready for selling. I think like doing some plumbing or something. They were like outside with a tractor working on it. And then in between tractor noises, I was just over in the woods with a tripod talking about Bigfoot in San Andreas. And this is one of my favorite. There's a lot that went into this. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. I think it's in that playlist as well. I did like in-game recreate. I had to dig up a bunch of information of like these are like way back machine posts that were really hard to find. I went and found a bunch of old San Andreas Bigfoot clips. There was a part in here somewhere where there's bits in here where I looked and found that I do have like the hot coffee version of San Andreas and like went through all the information of how that works.
We will now see if Bigfoot can be found on said disc. This is the PlayStation Move, and this is the map that can be found in the box.
This is kind of where the idea of the PlayStation Move microphone for shorts stemmed from, was using it as a pointer for this map. That I didn't want to stick anything to my San Andreas map because I didn't want to hurt it. I'm always like, if I'm using something in like a video bit, I don't want anything to happen to it. So I use that is a Smallville trading card with Michael Rosenbaum on it, and I slid it up under the rails that hold in the comic books to like just use pressure to hold that map up on the wall for this joke. And it worked great, and it didn't affect it at all. And then I think I just added like a marker. Yeah, I just did like a in post circle here. And then this recreation, I went out and this is like, I think in-game footage. And then I at one point added in like a PNG of the Bigfoot that people used. And I went through files of San Andreas for hours and days. It was like days. This video took forever because I went through and looked at every single like 3D model and file that I could find on San Andreas, and it's a nightmare of research. This is probably my most researched, like thoroughly researched video, and it kind of flopped. Honestly, it was a lot of work for not a lot of return. But one of my favorites. Was it 251 views? It did all right. But I thought it was going to be I thought that one was going to be a knock out of the park video, and it was not. And that happens a lot, where I think they're going to be something bigger than they are. I could talk about the Resident Evil stuff. Really getting low on time. So Daredevil, they had an unreleased game. This is one of my favorite framings. I like this framing, and that's why I do the framing I do now. Where I'm like standing and in the corner is behind me. Liked this a lot. There's not a way to recreate this exact shot because the couch is in a different spot and the TV's here now. But I liked this shot a lot. I don't like this face that I've paused on. Where is it? Somewhere in here, I talk about how I set this up. Right there? Yeah, so...
allegedly put in the work to get this prototype running.
So this ROM released, people got this ROM of this unreleased Daredevil game. And I did all of the footage of this. I recorded from an actual PS2. I got an unreleased PS2 game. And I soft modded my PS2 to where I could plug in a flash drive with this ROM and run the ROM off of the actual PS2 to like play it in a full experience of if it had released. And I feel like that's a cool way to review this. That was something I was like very proud of from this video. And I don't think I ever went into the specifics of how I did it, but I soft modded it and made that work. I think it's still on. Like I could just boot that thing up like now and still get. I never like removed that files or anything from there. So that's still there. Which ones do we want to hit real quick here at the end? The interviews are they're kind of their own beast, so I'll stay away from them. This one was one that I kind of had something I wanted to do for a long time. So I had interviewed Jason Trost for like an interview, and then he was releasing a game, and there's actually a full interview to this that I've never put out, but he came in and talked to me, and we did like another like full interview about the game, and then I cut the interview in with like a standard video, like my standard like scripted video. I scripted around the interview that we did. I did the interview first and then scripted around it and then placed all the pieces in. And it was an idea I had from like very early on. I was like, who am I going to interview that does game dev? And then Jason just kind of fell in my lap that he was making a game. So that was a fun concept to finally fulfill there after talking to him for like the regular interview to do that interview, to do an scripted video based off an interview. I don't know why I did it back to back with a regular interview. That seems very unlike me, but it must have been timing for when those came out. I don't do a lot of these. These are unscripted, an unscripted thing. I did a couple of these and then never did them again. There was a few. The one I think of the most is this one where
From the average video,
Burger King. This is where the hatred of Burger King bit, or right after the hatred of Burger King bit came from, because that came from the Iron Man video, because they have Burger King in that. And then this, I think, was like a supplemental, is what I called it, based off of that one, because Burger King had a Spider-Verse Whopper. And this commercial was on all the time, and I loved this commercial, but I hate Burger King. But this is also one of those off the panel shirts that I hated. I hate those shirts. I still love this bit. The hatred of Burger King is a bit? No, I mean, I hate it. This is where it started. This is where I started talking about it publicly. This I did. They had this Whopper, and I had a minute. This, you can see the yellow on the end of this. This is a work car. So these are all my supplies for my work car at the job I had here, where I was like traveling. I did like copier repair IT stuff, and I had a company car, and I just happened to be able, like, I had a time when I was in a town that had a Burger King, and I was like free on lunch. So I was like, I'll just go over there and record this and then throw this together. It wasn't real for me until I learned it's great. Yeah, this is where I came out about my Burger King hatred. So I went into this Burger King. I don't want to like record in a place, so I didn't want to do that. I got a crown, and I sat in my car. And then I ate this disgusting Whopper that was bright red. And
You can see there where right here where the food coloring is like not all the way there.
it was like it tasted like dye. And let me tell you, my stomach was in shambles for like the next hour after that. I felt so bad after eating just what was basically red dye buns that were just soaked full of red dye. Where do we go from here? Let's round this thing out. This is one I want to mention real quickly because I did this bit. The audio's terrible here. I did this bit where I am talking about James Gunn.
Meaning that some of the things from actually most things do not. James Gunn holds the Bible to this new universe,
Which is honestly great. I love everything.
Like this audio sounds better. That one audio was real
with
bad.
Lollipop Chainsaw for like 2 weeks, and to admit that, you either have to be a complete creep or a James Gunn fan. He can do no wrong.
I love James Gunn.
So this bit where I have all of I have white hair like James Gunn. What I recorded that first part, and then I wanted a way to like make my hair white like that very quickly and easily. So this is like an entire bottle of aerosol dry shampoo, because when you really cake it on, it becomes white. So I recorded that bit, paused the recording, walked into the bathroom, and like I was so lightheaded from the fumes of just spraying my skull with so much dry shampoo you could like kill a person. And then walked back in there and recorded the rest of it like that. But that was how I achieved that look, and it nearly killed me, and I think it probably deeply affected my lungs after that. And then I feel like I could keep going on this for a long time, but we'll round it out with this is the first one I did with Andy. Not a lot there, but we did this thing where I did a speed run of movies where he gave me a list of movies and then I watched them all at various speeds, like one times, 2 times, 3 times, up to like 5 times. And that was a really fun experiment. And to do it, I had to go find nothing will let you watch a movie at 5 times speed. I had to go find like a plug-in that would that would accelerate a streaming service to an absurd speed. Let's talk about this guy. I don't remember if there's a lot of like bits or whatever in this guy. It was this was a baffling experience that this video did as good as it did. It was just an idea that I had because I saw that these existed, and I thought about these parks, but I didn't know it was going to be like my biggest video when I made it. I just thought like, I guess there's not, all the bits are just like, they're all just as I go. It's just me talking and then the bits pop up. There's this thing where I'm like, but clearly, I mean, I'm just like talking so there's not like anything to the shots. This is all just like pure bits that tie into what I'm doing. So there's really not a lot to talk on about that other than that. It blew up and it was not supposed to, even a little bit. This one's cool, I guess. The second video I did with Jerica, there's a lot to this one. Not eyeballs. This video is kind of I consider this my Any Austin ripoff, which is funny because Any Austin enjoyed this video and shared it on his Blue Sky, and that's where a lot of the views came from. When we were making this video, I came to Jericho with this topic, and she was like really into it, and it was like trying to get back and forth with her scheduling and my scheduling are a nightmare to to line up with. So when we make something, all the stars have to align. But while we were talking about it, like I was running through the like topic with her, and I had like already recorded some footage and like had like an outline. She was like, "Oh, this reminds me a lot of this guy that I saw that like goes through like river paths and stuff like that in games." So I was like, "Oh, Innie Austin, yeah, that was like my inspiration for this." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I really like his videos a lot." And then it just so happened that apparently Austin also liked the idea of a video that he kind of does. This was I just walked around this game. I put it in photo mode and I just analyzed every section of it to see what these things are, because I did it to like see that looks like water could go into that. And then I just like Google reverse image search things to see if it would tell me like something that like looks like this to figure out what it is. I think that's what I did. There's like a water pump in here that I like took a picture of, and I was like, Google, tell me what this is. And it explained to me that it was like a water pump. I went out to a water tower near me to explain how water towers work.
On a little field trip.
This is the same park
Field trip to a water tower. This is
that I filmed the Wii Fit stuff in. That's like you can see the jungle gym behind it that I filmed that Wii Fit bit in.
That's littered. Don't do that. That sucks. So here is my
Oh yeah, ban that. I don't.
Theory of how Joel's plumbing works. This is a water tower. If you do not know how a water tower works,
Let me jump over there real quick and take care of that.
Have a pumping system with them. This one appears to have one here. The average water tower gets water pumped in from a treatment plant that is pumped up to the top of the water tower. And the main use of a water tower is to keep the pumps at a steady pace when the water usage fluctuates.
You know, I can't get it to do it.
People are at work.
You win one this time.
A lot of water, so the pumps won't need to be going farther. But
yeah, I didn't either until I was trying to learn how water towers work, and I did this whole explanation of a water tower, and then I just gave Jerica the section of the farm, and she just sent me back this video, and I just kind of cut around it, and then with her information, I found some more stuff about like the actual location of this. And she just did this whole bit where she had Ellie and Dina next to her, like judging the information that she was giving. It was a good bit. She did great on just like me throwing a bit at her, and then she said something, and she was like unsure of what something was, and I just filled in the information for the informational part of this. That was a super fun project. Really happy with it. These, I don't think there's much in this. This one, I don't think I have much outside bits. I don't think I have much to talk about in any of these. I think we'll let it go there. I think unless there was something that anybody wanted to touch on specifically, maybe we'll do this again sometime. Probably in 10 years from now, we'll do another one of these. But I think I'll let you go there. Let you go at that point. I mean, there's a million little lore pieces we could drag out of this channel, like the frescas and the BG Vances and all those things that come from places that aren't specifically these videos. But 5 years I've been doing this, scripting, editing, talking to people, talking to a camera for 5 years, which is a bafflingly long time, it feels like. I don't think I've ever done anything this consistently for this long. And I'm gonna keep doing it, I guess. Who knows how long for. We'll see. We'll come back here if I'm still doing this in 5 more years. We'll come back here and do a 10-year anniversary of looking back on this. But that's a long time from now. Like, I'll probably be dead by then. There's not a lot of life left in me at 19. Like, next year I'm done for. So I hope everybody that tuned in to look at those old bits enjoyed all that. It was very fun and nostalgic for me. Go through and look at what my house used to look like, and look at things I made forever ago and haven't thought about in a long time. look at my old jokes and laugh at myself. So thanks. You'll be 29 then. Yeah, that's the end of life. I think that's all I've got. I don't think there's anybody. It's a Sunday, so nobody I know is on and streaming. So I'll just let you go. It's a Sunday night. You probably got to work in the morning. Thanks for hanging out on this 105. I didn't plan to go this late. I went way later than I meant to. I meant to be done like 11, but there was just so much to talk about. Infamous Archives. Hey, how you been? Great. You're just sliding in here at a special hour. We've been going over the last 5 years of videos I've done. The Infamous will be returning on Friday. This is a little special bonus thing for my 5-year anniversary. And we were just wrapping up. But thanks for popping in. Glad to see you here. I can't wait to see you on the next Infamous stream. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end it. Of course, if there's anything in here that you had questions about at any time, just shoot them over and let me know. We'll talk about it. I can tell you how I made stuff. I love talking about this. This is the only thing I do. Pretty much outside of like I go to work and I do dad stuff, and then outside of that, I am doing this. Occasionally I am playing games, but really I spend more time talking about games than I did actually than I do like playing games. Playing games is not in my like list of times. They're in my like time. They got all fumbled up in my brain. In my like time window. This is outrageous how Sony's shutting down the PS3. Yeah, I'm currently working on a video that's about delisting stuff that I've been working on for about a month now, and then Sony decided to announce that, and I have to re-edit and change the whole ending of it. So that would have been a great video to have out now for this, to talk about that experience, because that's never happened to me before, where I basically predict an entire thing happening, and then it happens before I put the video out, and I have to remake the entire video. That's very fun. So whenever that's done, you'll see it. But it really is really like kicked me down, where I was like, I'm gonna have this video out. It's great. I like where I'm going with it. It was one of the scripts it's the most proud I've ever been of a script, and then Sony was like, why don't we rip all that away from you and make you change the whole thing? So thanks, Sony. Really glad I have to do that. It's still good. Don't worry. It is still one of my favorite scripts. But that's it. We're gonna say bye-bye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. 5 years is weird. It's weird that it's 5 years. And that much skinnier boy is very surprised that we made it this far. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Sony really ruined my life. And also I really like physical games. But I gotta go to bed, so I will see you on Friday. Maybe a bonus stream this week. Maybe there's something coming out that is embargoed and I can't talk about it, but that we'll be playing in between here and Friday. Don't know. We'll find out. All right. Bye-bye.